What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to Out of Nowhere. Sorry about the delay. Right as I went to start the show, my computer froze, and it took a long time to get it back up again. I hope you guys subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button, all the other stuff. Leave some comments, whatever. And, of course, if you're live with us, then here we go. We got Jake DeMarco in the house. Stick around for just a second while I get him on the call with me. And then we're going to take lots of your calls. There he is right there. And then we're going to take lots of your calls. Lots of news to talk about. The ratings with AEW and NXT. Oh, all my notes are gone because the computer rebooted. Oh, that's fucking great. NXT, AEW, NWA, WWE. Let's face it, wrestling fans, you can't get enough of freaking wrestling. And that's where TitleMatchNetwork.com comes in. Because one of the biggest wrestling libraries on the planet, over 125 plus promotions, many of them you can't find anywhere else. 150 plus full-length shoot interviews, live pay-per-views every month. And when you sign up with the coupon code Cronin, you guys are going to get 50% off for 3 months. It's unheard of. Just use coupon code Cronin at TitleMatchNetwork.com, and you'll get access to every single bit of content they have available on here, including Bar Wrestling 43, Luchasaurus' last match before AEW, plus Ivelisse versus Ray Rosas, Killer Cross, Jake Atlas, Ladies Night Out 7,
Yikes,
plus USA Pro Wrestling's 27th anniversary available now. Scott Steiner versus Freight Train. You guys want to know what Scott Steiner's up to? Well, you're going to enjoy this one. Plus, Just Incredibles in action as well. And also, the all-new, brand-new, first-ever Dean Malenko shoot interview, never done before. It was just conducted last month. Plus, visit all the top trending promotions on Title Match Network, including Bar Wrestling, Ladies Night Out, Battle Club Pro, Wrestle Pro, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, WrestleCade, PCW Ultra, West Coast Wrestling Connection, IWA Deep South Warriors of Wrestling, Rise, Sabotage, and Defy. And, of course, me, Joe Cronin, coming soon with New England All-Star Wrestling.
So if you're
also produced by the Title Match Wrestling Network. Stand Up for Greatness with Stevie Ray, Nameless with Barbie Hayden, and so much more like Ladies Night Out Underground. You're not going to miss that one. Trust me, if you guys see that, you're going to be glued to that damn video the rest of the night. I was, and I got yelled at by my wife. But the fact is, TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com, that's where to go. Use coupon code Cronin, and you'll get all of this, guys. So many people always ask me, where do you watch these pay-per-views from these wrestling companies and these other promotions? I can never find it, or it's a bad YouTube video. It's all available here. You get everything. 50% off for 3 months with coupon code Cronin on TitleMatchNetwork.com. Check it out, guys. You will love it. I promise you, and you'll Wow, I want to kill somebody. What the fuck? Cool, this is fun. My computer just keeps freezing everything I do, so I'm sorry about that. I really can't figure out what's going on, but yeah, I'm having problems. But had a whole bunch of notes that are all gone. Had a way to start this show, and that's gone. Looks like underwhelming audience because of the delay. Like, just fucking shoot me in the fucking face. What's up, Jake?
Let's turn that frown upside down. Do I got to get naked again?
I wish I was dead, to be honest. Honestly, I wish a home invader came in the house right now and just unloaded a fucking machine gun all over me.
Just you. I'll take the family.
Whatever. Take out everybody.
We'll put them in solitude. And...
I don't know, man. Just take me out. Just come kill me. Then they get the insurance money. Like, I can be off this planet. It'll be great. But yeah.
At least you're not stuck traveling to Saudi.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I'd tell them, fuck you, I'm not going.
Well, that's what Sami Zayn did. He again, obviously is not returning to any form of Saudi show. He's not going to Crown Jewel, just like he hasn't gone to the previous Crown Jewel.
What's he going to go there for? Showdown. To dance around Shinsuke and nobody knows who he is?
Pretty much. I mean, they wanted him there for the program that Roman Reigns and Nakamura are going to have continued at Super Showdown. So if they're not in the 5-on-5, then they'll be utilized in a match against each other.
Wow.
Yeah, but as of right now, from everything that we've seen, we have the World Cup Tag Team Turmoil match, Team Hogan versus Team Flair. And we have Cain Velasquez against Brock Lesnar, which is for the WWE title. I was not aware that was for the title. And then we have the Falls Count Anywhere match for the Universal title, which is The Fiend versus Seth Rollins. And it's kind of funny to think that, The Undertaker isn't being utilized there. They won't be having Goldberg return either. I was reading on Wrestling Inc. earlier that, despite initial reports, they're not going to go ahead and have The Undertaker or Goldberg be involved at the show.
Well,
kind of makes sense because they're already spending mucho money on Tyson Fury. I forgot about Tyson Fury's match as well. He's taking on Braun Strowman. So
I got to be honest, everything you're saying right now, I don't give a fuck. Like, I literally don't care about Saudi Arabia. Like, I almost hope that people get hurt. Like, it's like I fucking really hate the Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel. It's a meaningless waste of time for us. So like, to me, no doubt.
And the sad part is they're spending so much money. I mean, originally we had heard that Tyson Fury was getting $15 million, and I knew that was far too high and extravagant. Goldberg received just over $2 million, and others had received about the same. Apparently, he's getting somewhere around $5 million. That's what's being, thrown around the rumor mill at this point in time. So that's still anything over $2 million is certainly logical, but holy hell, is that worth it? I don't see how. Same thing with Cain Velasquez. He's making over $2 million, obviously, and right there, that's the Undertaker and Goldberg's salary. So it's just going elsewhere.
Yeah, what a joke. Fuck that show. I want you to look at, I had a whole plan of, it's weird, I don't normally do this, but I actually planned out where I was going to take this show tonight with all this stuff, and it was crazy how I wrote it all out, because I never do that. I usually just go, I've got some things, and Jake will have a bunch of things, and we'll just talk and we'll take calls. But tonight I had this whole thing laid out how I wanted to go at it, and it all got deleted. I spent an hour writing it, and it's all gone now. So I remember kind of, but you know me with memory, it's like really bad. So like I remember like 4 things on that list maybe, but I have like really bad ADD. So like without writing it down, I don't remember. But I'm sure we'll talk about most of it. It just won't be the way I wanted to. But like, let's listen to this goofy fucking Triple H WWE for some reason promoting with a boxer. I still don't understand what the point in this fucking is. The only point in this is that this guy is a mark and wanted to be in WWE or something. And since he's like the top boxer in the world or whatever, WWE was like, of course we have to do that. And so, the Saudi Arabia probably liked that too, I guess. I don't even know. Do Saudi Arabian people know this guy? Maybe they do. Like, I don't know. But the bottom line is this is all bullshit, and it's not like Mike Tyson. People are like, well, they did it with Tyson, you idiot, and they did it with Floyd Money Mayweather. Dude, Floyd Money Mayweather I feel like was way bigger than this guy. When I heard Floyd Money Mayweather, I was like, yeah, I know who that is. Like, I hate that guy.
Exactly. Like I said before, Tyson Fury is a big name, but I don't know that he transcends out of the world of sports and or boxing.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, they were larger than life superstars, and they were world renowned and known.
No one's watching for him.
Audiences all over.
The bottom line is no one's watching for this guy. Nobody is tuning into WWE to see this. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing it. Like, I look at the comments. Look at the comments down below here. It's amazing.
Yeah, people just genuinely didn't know who he was, and he was even a boxer.
No, I mean, like, about WWE. This is on ESPN's show, and people are like, why would you do that trash? Gay as fuck. Someone slammed Fury's head through the canvas. Big gay pillow fist Fury. That fraud is not the boxing heavyweight champion. And actually, they've deleted comments because they're all gone. But there were a ton of comments. In fact, the reason why I brought this video up was to show you the comments. And they're gone. So they actually deleted comments. Because the comments were like, why is he going into that dumb shit, that gay WWE shit? Like, why would you do that fake sport? Why is that fake sport even on ESPN right now? Like, it was full of comments like that. And I was like, see, this is exactly what we talk about. Nobody cares about this shit. Nobody fucking cares.
You can go outside to in, but not inside to out. You can go from WWE elsewhere, and it usually tends to work. But bringing people, trying to bring people into WWE, if they don't already have that wrestling mindset, they're not going to go with the kayfabe.
Yeah, it's
sports fans are fickle, and apparently Whitehead said it was 5 million pounds. So if you use the conversion rate with Google, that's a little over $6.5 million.
What a waste of money.
Well, apparently he's been training outside of the WWE, really preparing for this match. He's taking it serious. He's excited about this. That's all well and good. I mean, I'm glad he's not treating it like a joke.
Yeah, I'm
thankful
like
for that, but
I'm not saying like what he did in boxing is like he's great. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
like I don't even have a problem.
An immaculate record, and
I'm just sick of this bringing in people all the time because you can't make anybody like.
Exactly. You don't have enough stars that are palatable to the audience that would drive that kind of desire to purchase a ticket.
Right.
That's the problem. So it's just like we said, band-aids on bullet wounds constantly, and even bringing in the Undertaker or Stone Cold. I mean, that's part of the problem as well. Instead of we already have Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair on the show. I'm surprised they're not fighting. I guarantee they'll get involved in the match in some way, shape, or form. But
jeez, I can't even.
No one wants to see that.
No, I can't even imagine that happening. But I mean, that would be kind of funny. But like,
you hear Hogan saying over and over how he desperately wants one more match, and the person he wants it against above all else is Stone Cold. But if that can't happen,
what if they said Vince?
He wanted to fight Vince. If he said above all else, if he can't get Stone Cold, he wants Vince. Because him and Austin never happened, so he feels like there's a lot of money in that fight.
They would literally.
I'm sure he's right, but
they would have to have the type of match that like the Undertaker had with Cena.
Yeah, that out of the gate, jackrabbit start, quick.
Yeah,
2 minutes over. It would have to be, leg drop.
But even in that, I would bet that Cena and Undertaker move better. Both of them move better than Hogan, and potentially Cena moves better than Stone Cold. So, you're talking about, what I mean? Like the Undertaker was not the best shape. Cena is still in okay shape. Is still in good shape. But Stone Cold's in okay shape, but he doesn't want to really be bumping a lot. And Hulk Hogan is in like fucking wheelchair state. Like, I mean, so
yeah,
it's
it's not in the realm of possibility, possible in my eyes.
There's no way Hogan would win to me either, by the way. I mean, Hogan would probably be like, brother, I'll put you over. Because he just have
I don't know,
match.
with all his politicking, I'm sure he'd still want one more time to have his arm raised.
No, he'd want it. Well, okay, I could see Hogan coming out on Raw having a squash match with some jobber and then being like, oh my God, I won a match. Like, what the hell? I didn't expect it. And they could really build it as like, listen, you are the Immortal Hogan and you did all this stuff. And you even came back in your later years and still had some success. But even then you weren't the man you used to be because you were a lot older and you couldn't beat The Rock. And, you know, and now you're fucking 20 years older than that or whatever, not 20, but like 15 years older than then. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's no reason to be doing this, you know? And so the whole thing would be that he shockingly did beat some young guy, and it was amazing. And he was like, I feel so good that I wish somebody like Stone Cold was here so I could kick his ass. And he throws the mic down, and then, you know, Austin would say, fucking, you want some, you know? And then the next thing you know, you got a match, and then Stone Cold would win. But yeah. You know, but that's how I would...
Unsanctioned, it wasn't planned.
If you put a fucking gun to my head and made me book it, like if you put a gun to my head and you were like, this is going to happen.
Yeah, make it work.
Like, that's what I would come up with, which would be this kind of like miracle story that he beat, you know, this younger guy, and that was like it was like a miracle that it happened because he's so old, you know, and then he could go into this promo of like, I felt this old feeling I haven't felt in whatever the fuck, and the Hulkamaniacs are still there. I still believe in, you know, then Stone Cold beats him. But yeah, I don't know what the point of all that would be, you know, to be honest. I mean, there's a part of me
just nostalgia. Nostalgia's a strong drug.
There's a devil on my shoulder that said that, like, there's a part of me that wants to throw up of the thought of that, and then there's another part of me that wants to see that. How fucked up is that? Like, there's a part of me that wants to see it, but there's most of me that's like, let me play a donation. Somebody donated earlier, and I'll try to replay that for you.
All right, try and mute me in the process.
And let's see if we can get the sounds.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
Cain Velasquez looks worse than fucking Joey Janela. Did anybody hear me yelling Joey Janela the other day?
Where am I living? Where am I living? Where am I living? Right now.
Oh my God.
I know this is a wrestling show, but I'll be honest, I haven't cared about wrestling for 3 years, but still love to tune in to hear your sexy ass voice. This is favorite donation cause it is guaranteed to get a funny or scared reaction with Tommy's loud voice.
Oh, God damn, it scared the shit out of me. I mean, I'm in such a bad mood, it didn't scare me that much because I'm in such a pissed off mood. Like, I'm really angry right now. I can't even, like, I want to smash. Like, I'm not going to be okay until I beat the fuck out of something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really not in a good mood. This computer froze before the show. It took 35 minutes for me to get on the air. Now my computer is still kind of, like, acting weird, so I feel like any moment it'll shut down again. But, yeah, so if you want to donate tonight would be the night to donate because I may have to get a computer. I may have to just take out a credit card or something and get one. You know, I've been really stingy with money recently because all the problems we've been having around here and stuff and all the bills and everything. But, oh, God, I hate to say it, but, yeah, I mean, if you fucking I might need your help, guys. I don't know. I can feel free to donate tonight if you want. It will go towards the computer fund. But the thing is, see, the problem with the computer thing is, like, to like, buy a computer for $600, $700, $800, it's like I'd have to make like extra, like, you know what I mean? We'd have to have like extra epic nights, you know what I mean? Like, and then I would go out and buy it. But again, if this computer fries itself, I'm gonna have to get one because this is fucking. What are you gonna do? Not fucking work? You know what I mean? The fuck? That'd be like if I was like, oh my God, I can't get to work. My car is breaking down. It's like, what would you do? Just be like, oh well, and just keep trying and just keep like breaking down and then get fired from your job and have no work. It's like, no, you would have to go out and try to buy a new car somehow. Like, you have to do it. Even if it meant, like, draining your bank account because at least then you can get back to work to make the money back, you know. But you wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm not going to go to work, you know. So I probably should just shut the fuck up and go buy a fucking computer. And, you know, this one, I was sentimental to this one because I fucking built it, man. I built this fucking computer and I like it. But, oh well. The other thing is, I'm going to have to reinstall so many programs when I get a new computer. It's going to be like nuts.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly. What's up, Jericho?
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I wanna eat the fuck out of DeBar's cunt.
Holy shit. Big melt. That is terribly horrible. But anyway, let's get back to wrestling. Big Melt, thank you for the donation. So if you guys want to talk AEW, NXT, whatever, we're going to talk about the ratings in a minute. So much to talk about. We're going to take phone calls in a little while. And I'm really sorry for the slow beginning, but of course, I'm a fucking moron, I guess. I had already restarted the computer today, too. People were like, why didn't you I restarted, cleaned it, and then restarted again, and then got ready for the show, and then as I was about to start, I froze. I could hear Jake talking, but my whole computer was frozen. I was like, oh, here we go. That's one of these times. But anyway, Jake, let's start off with the ratings, because that's what everybody wants to talk about, I guess. So,
all right. Last comment, too, because I pulled it up in the chat. Sergio said, is it just me or is Crown Jewel annoying, pathetic, and bad for wrestling? It really is, like you said, because it screws up everything they have planned. All the storylines get either put on hiatus or halted entirely or just scrapped. And then everything becomes a focus for a show that's essentially non-canon. So it is a clusterfuck. It drains money because they're spending so much for these huge payouts to appease a government, and it's out of the country. The fans don't care for it. And it's at a place where a lot of people aren't really, cool with, a lack of better explanation. So the whole thing is just really a nightmare. But getting into the ratings for last night, the Wednesday Night War, as everyone likes to call it, we're going to weigh in here and let you know that AEW surprisingly beat NXT once again. Hey, wait, that's not a surprise. We knew that was going to happen, Joe.
Yeah, I could tell you.
Both went down, though.
Both went down, and I think but because, you know what, when we first started talking about all this, we were like, man, could AEW's going to, we think maybe AEW could hit 1 million, right? We were saying that, maybe AEW, originally I was being really fucking we
were trying to see if they could just hit that straight up mill.
So we really thought that they would be around, I thought AEW would be around maybe 800,000 to 1.2 million. It really felt like that's their wheelhouse. And to me, it still is, because that's what we really believed. And the hype is going to die down a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's going to be about whether they can bring it back up again. Now, again, I thought that street fight should have been something epic. I felt if that main event had been, insane, that would have helped the rating, and then it would have helped next week's rating, because people would have been like, wow, they will do anything on this show. I'm all in next week. I wonder
how much they're worried about longevity as well, though, really going all out.
Yeah, they are.
Because if they start injuring people, or
they don't
wonder if they're concerned about those things.
I called Busted Open this morning and asked them that question. I wanted to hear what Bubba Ray had to say. I want to hear what Bully had to say.
And what was his input?
Well, the reason why I asked him is because I knew that he would answer from a more of a business wrestling standpoint, and then he wouldn't answer from a passionate fan standpoint.
Yeah, who just wants to see the action.
Yeah, so I called him and I asked him that question. I have the clip of it here. And
I can hear sound, so I believe.
Oh, really? Well, we'll hold that off for a minute. I did ask you guys. I asked you guys, and you guys didn't have a problem with it either. But I spoke to so many people the other day that told me that they were disappointed with it. So I figured, well, I must be in the majority, because I was kind of like, wow, I thought there'd be more there. I wanted more there. I liked the show still. I didn't think oh, fuck them. I didn't get fucking fire and tax and fucking barbed wire bats and shit. I'm mad now. That's not what I felt like. I just kind of felt like, oh, they kind of missed a opportunity to really snag this crowd, because I feel like it would have helped, because I feel like next week the ratings will be down as well. So I feel like we're on this. It's declining less and less though for AEW.
Well, there's also a weird split as well, because here's the thing. Last week AEW got 1.018, so just straight up 1,018,000. Not bad. Mm-hmm. But this week they actually drew 1,140,000 because it's on True TV as well. So if you
they're still doing that?
Yeah, it's still split.
Why?
I don't know. So, and
what the fuck?
I guess because they aired on both due to complications, it says, with the MLB's playoffs. So something about the rain delay is why it still aired on True TV, but I'm not 100% on that being the sole reason why. But it was odd that that's why they decided to do it. So combined, they're at 1.14 even. So it's still not bad. So that means they didn't essentially go down from last week's 1.018. But I don't know if that was combined with True TV or not. So,
yeah, that's pretty confusing, man. Every time they roll that out, I mean,
NXT got 790,000 straight up.
I'd give or take maybe 100,000. But I've also heard from Canadian listeners that they're finding AEW way easier than they're finding NXT. So you take about and that's probably only the difference of 50,000 people. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, no, I think in the very end of everything. And by the way, I want everybody to remember this. I want you to remember this out there. Look me in the eyes when I say this. I told you that I believed that on the WWE Network, the weekly NXT show was drawing about 450,000 people a week. People thought that was crazy. They were like, no way, it's like 2 million. And I'm like, no, 2 million is the network subscribers. But the people that actually watch NXT, it's like fucking 400,000 people. Maybe 500,000 or 300,000. It's in there somewhere. And people were like, that's crazy. It's got to be 800,000. And I'm like, no, it is less. And this was when it was taped in only 1 hour. So I'm telling you that the real numbers of who watched NXT every single week, about the ratings, if you could look at the hundreds of thousands, it was about 400,000. I don't care what numbers, what they were saying. 400 and something thousand. That's what I was told by certain people in WWE when they were off air, blah, blah, blah. So 400,000 people watching NXT on the tape show on the WWE Network is what we had. Now you generate this interest on live television, and, you know, all these people tuned in, plus the people from AEW are kind of peeking to see what's going on. So you had all this pomp and circumstance from around everywhere. But now you're down to 700,000. And most likely it's going to sink down again. And I think that what you're going to see is NXT is probably going to float around the 600,000s and probably stay around the 500, 600, 700,000s in there. If they ever went below 500,000, to me that would be like, whoa, they fucked up. Like, this is really bad. Like, below 500,000 to me would be like something is going wrong.
Catastrophic. And to clarify earlier, last week AEW got a 1.018, but with True TV tied in, they ended up getting, I'm sorry, I just lost my place. They ended up adding another 122,000 viewers. So it was pretty much the same as this week. So when you combine the two's ratings, it's still that you know, same rating that we had for this week combined. So it's a 1.14. When you add in True TV, so last week they got a 1.14 when you add in True TV. This week when you add in True TV, they got a 1.14.
So they stayed about the same, really?
It was exactly the same if you combine both channels.
Okay. But you could combine both channels last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you combine both channels last week and this week, TNT got a little bit less, but True TV got a little bit more this week, if that makes sense.
Wow, you would think that the True TV would have less this week.
Yeah, it was odd, but
I wonder if that's people who are watching True TV who really don't even know that much about what's going on with wrestling right now, and they figured like, oh, this will be back next week. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how many, if that's the case. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems to be, but
I don't know. You know, I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, so look, I mean, the NXT numbers, you know, 1.1 million, 1 million, about 891,000, 790,000, 712,000. So if you look at this, they dropped over 100,000. They dropped almost 200,000 the first drop. The second drop was about 100,000, or just over 100,000. The second drop was exactly 100,000, almost. Yeah, it was. It was just about exactly 100,000 on the second drop.
Yeah.
So then the final drop after yesterday's rating is about 78,000. So we can project that NXT's rating next week will probably be below 700,000.
I think we're going to get 720. Personally.
Really? After a 712?
Yeah, because they're at 790 right now.
No, they did 712.
NXT pulled in, it says here, 790,000 viewers.
That was on October 9th.
Oh no, you're right. I'm on last week's. Yeah, this week's 712.
Yeah.
So yeah, I you're right.
That's crazy.
It'd be about 680.
Yep,
then.
680. That's exactly the number I was thinking. So
I'm still looking at last week's to try and get the old numbers.
If you look if you look next week, everybody.
Yeah, 680.
Unless something happens that we're unaware of, they're on a course with 680,000 next week.
Yeah, it seems to that's so pretty much fair
to me though. So that means to me that they're gonna probably hit around 650. That NXT, it looks like going forward, NXT is gonna be a show that draws between 600,000 to 800,000, and that's their potential. That's their potential. If they announce something like a main event Adam Cole. They announced Adam Cole versus Finn Balor in the main event for the NXT World Championship on Wednesday. So I would expect the shift to happen, and we would see maybe 700,000 and 800,000 people watching again. If we don't know what's really happening next week, besides some of the mini storylines they're working on, and it's a regular episode, you could probably expect between 650 and 700,000 viewers.
Well, next week, the only things that we have advertised that I've seen so far is the North American Championship triple threat match. Keith Lee, Dominic, and Roderick Strong, and then they're going to go ahead and also have Rhea Ripley take on Bianca Belair.
Right.
So it's not a very strong card so far.
So they're
I think the way they're going to get boosts is if they say, like Finn Balor being advertised for this weekend's NXT. Once he was advertised to be touring again with NXT for the next 4 shows over this coming weekend, the ticket sales increased. I think once they announce Finn Balor's back in action this week on NXT, and they say that on Raw and/or SmackDown if possible, the weekend before,
right?
I think that'll give NXT a boost. I think if they need to have a few more of their top level characters, the Adam Cole, the Ciampa, Gargano, really become more of the focus.
Well, I will.
It doesn't feel like we're getting that really.
No,
yet.
I mean, I did I watched NXT the other day, and I didn't put out my review because I still missed the last 30 minutes of it. But I actually kind of liked the way NXT started. But you know what? I find myself just again, it almost doesn't matter what NXT does. I find myself. There's NXT could have 3 amazing matches and it wouldn't matter. I would still be I have to watch what happens on AEW.
It's just not compelling right now because a lot of it has the been there, done that.
They're both great though. They're both good though.
You're getting it's not. They're that both it's not good, but it was mad this week. It was just blah, and I think a lot of that came down to the fact that their story was. For what they did give us, it was pretty run-of-the-mill blasé. We've seen these beat-down attacks. So now all they did was take an injured wrestler and write him off for a while in the form of Velveteen. They had him, they had Undisputed Era bring out the thumb drive when Tommaso Ciampa's match was over.
That was kind of cool. I
like the way they did that.
That was pretty cool.
But the beatdown seemed pretty ineffective. The way it was set up, he was already, Velveteen Dream's already laid out. I wish it was just a bit more creative if that's what you're going to go with.
Like what?
They could have found a better way to destroy him than just have him already laid out.
Well, he's injured though.
Back.
He's injured though. They can't.
I think they could have been creative about some way.
What do you mean though? But you gotta. But you know what though? I'm gonna be the fucking wrestler now. What?
Yeah,
you have to come up
further injuries.
Yeah, if you don't have a better idea, then come on. What are they gonna do?
On the spot, I don't know. If I thought about it, I'm sure we'd come to something. But
I just don't know what else you're supposed to do. The guy's pretty hurt. He's not cleared to wrestle or do anything physical. So we lay him on this thing and we go, "Sweet dreams, you motherfucker!"
And crush his glasses.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was. I mean, I know that it sucks and that's a cheap way out, but it is a cheap way out because the guy's injured.
Yeah, because he's injured, and he's been wrestling injured apparently for quite some time.
It's like when in the fucking third Matrix movie where they had to replace the actress who played the Oracle. It's you're oh, I wish they could have done, but what could they do? The lady died.
She passed away. There's nothing you can do about it. So I get your point. It's just it's an unfortunate set of circumstances, and it unfortunately it counts against them.
Yeah,
it does, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it sounds like, oh, you're just nitpicking. But
I took it as a dude. You know what though? I gotta be. It's weird. Normally, I'm the negative one with this stuff, but I took it honestly. I kind of took it as a positive. I thought it helped build up them. They were kind of douchebag looking, pricks, And then the thumb drive.
Yeah, I did like the passing of the thumb drive. That was a cool way of going about it, rather than just like, here's the footage. You know, they tried to be a little bit more creative in that.
It is weird that you would be like, here's the incrimination. Like,
yeah, well, that was why I liked it, because they just didn't give a damn. They know that they've got the gold at this point, and they pretty much feel like they're running the show.
Why didn't William Regal come out at any point and be like,
that was what I was waiting for, some type of set repercussion. Because they're not intimidating Regal, they're not forcing him to he's not in a corner with them, and we kind of saw this before too when Aleister Black was beat down. We didn't know who done it, and that obviously was a much better angle. But we've gotten these before, and it just the payoff to this I feel is lacking, unfortunately. Yeah. And again, Velveteen can't do more. You're not wrong about that, and it's just like you said, it still counts against them, but. Velveteen Dream's been injured for quite some time, and come to find out that this has been bothering him for a while, the issue with his lower back, and to the point that they didn't want him to wrestle going into that title match, but he still wanted to get through the title defense. I don't know who he told or how he got away with it, because maybe. We'll see, but hopefully it didn't cause further.
It might have gotten worse. Yeah, it might have been like, hey, something's tweaking me. All right, let's check it out. Well, it's not that bad, but something is going on. And then he could have tweaked it more, and he could have been like, it hurts more. And then they could have been like, yeah, you've got, you need 3-4 weeks to heal this.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're saying, William Regal said on NXT that Velveteen Dream will be back for a long time.
Oh my God, I thought it was 2 weeks.
No, this is supposedly, bad enough to pull him from action for quite some time.
Oh God! Oh my
God! And
God!
That's kind of the thing here, where I felt like, all right, he's going to be gone. I wish they could have really decimated him to make it. You understand my mindset here? Like, I know they were limited in what they could have done, but knowing that he's going to be gone for a while, I wish it was either we had another whodunit scenario. It could have been. Not in the sense of, but that you go out after the fact, because they incriminated themselves. So, again, it just, the payoff isn't really there, and the angle's over.
Well, remember,
you can't get any retribution, so it's just done.
Remember they took out Stone Cold? Like, he was, going to have, fucking neck surgery.
Yeah.
And didn't he, and he got hit by a car, and he did that own stunt himself.
That was at Survivor Series. And WWE even sold the match as him being in that match that night. And then right on, I think it was Sunday Night Heat, he got hit by the car and was replaced in the match by the Big Show.
And dude, he got hit. He jumped up on the car and rolled up over the car.
Exactly. So and then it turned into, the Rikishi did it, and then Rikishi did it for The Rock, and then it was Rikishi, but he was motivated by Triple H, and then Triple H really was the mastermind, and that led they had the 6-man Hell in a Cell. There was so much around that. I mean, it was silly that Rikishi was the first culprit and guilty one, but still, there was so much of Mick Foley investigating to find who really did it, and it played out for a long time. So at least then we had more of a payoff to it. At least it offered something to the story. With this, it's over. That's it. So eventually Dream will come back and get some form of retribution, but that's going to be months down the line. So what does NXT do in the meantime? They're kind of up a creek with this. So now they're going to have to advance right into the feud with Ciampa, and when they get through that, then what? They're kind of at an impasse here. So I'm curious to see where they go, because they have a lot of what feels like mid-card, but not a lot of top-tier talent right now. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Well, we're going to show you the results of the poll about what you guys thought about the AEW street fight the other day. But before we do that, I'm going to try to trigger sounds for little Jake DeMarco's sexy ass over there. I'm in a little bit, I'm coming out of my funk, man. I'm coming out of my bad mood, everybody. I'm coming out of it. Oh, God, man. It's fucking, I'm a psycho, man. Whatever you guys are dealing with, I get it. I'm such a fucking burden on people, man. I got bipolar. I'm depressing. I got fucking ADD. There's something I need to be just taken out. I'm a burden to everybody.
Give me a hell yeah!
No more drafts talk. The only draft I care about are the ones for my beer.
Right.
In addition, let's not push any of our guys and bring in people from other sports and pay them quadruple what we pay our employees. WWE logic.
Yep. man of 1,005 holds. You just fucking nailed it, dude. By the way, Pants Poop Pants is the top donator with $10. Thank you, sir, for becoming the digital champion at the moment. And yeah, you nailed it, man. Fuck these people giving money to all these other people. Like, what?
Super chat party.
This shit is a mess.
I am bored. Just insert some faked up or sarcastic comment here. Joe and Jake, you guys
Okay.
are awesome. JD shagged his cat Lannis rupture.
Oh,
out
God.
of 10.
That's terrible. Once again, the fans came up with that rumor. It wasn't me, even though I got the cease and desist. Spaz Phoenix, thank you for the $5, man. I've tried to reach out to him, too, to say, like, what's up? I always do this, man. I reach out, hey, you okay? I hope everything's all right. But, yeah, the guy just doesn't ever respond. I like to bury the hatchet with people or whatever you call it, but, I mean, it just never works out. But, again, you guys made that rumor, and that's where it came from. And I'm wearing a fucking kitty shirt. You like that, you little fucking midget fuck? He's probably watching right now. Or, like, someone, like, sends him the link, like, he's talking about you. And it's like, I'm not talking about him. You're talking about him. And then you probably told him about it. You fucking idiot. I get how the troll works. I like it, though. I get it. It's really savage. Very savage of you. I get it.
Joe, just shut the fuck up and buy a new computer. Upside down face.
I know, man. I don't have. I know, man. I gotta buy a computer. Thank you for the donation, though. Appreciate that.
Pour me a beer. You've got a new
Cellar Door. Thanks for subscribing. Is that in response to the fact that I had a worm in my basement the other day? Is that why you're called Cellar Door? I like it. AEW NXT ratings are down, but I like both shows. I still like both shows, man. So it is what it is.
You're my man.
JD Venom is in the house.
Wanna see you naked. I gotta give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. I don't care if your whole fist goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Okay, so I am here to tell you guys
Yes.
the storyline I came up with that can give WWE some good buzz.
Alrighty.
By no means this is something that will save the company long term, but it will get people talking and it would be a great WrestleMania storyline.
All right, I got it. I'm ready to go, JD Venom. By the way, you are now the top donator, JD Venom. Thank you for that. You could take home that digital championship. JD Venom, I like it, man. Bring on that storyline, baby. JD Venom.
Bomb.
There it is.
It's based around Seth and Becky getting and WWE broadcasting the first shoot wedding on the WWE network. They refer to them as Colby and Rebecca during the build-up to the wedding. Weeks of advertisement to air a 1-hour special on the WWE network on a weekend.
So they're going to go the Macho Man Elizabeth route, except for, like, they're going to break kayfabe, I guess. It's going to be a shoot. Okay. JD Venom, thanks for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. And it looks like he's going to have more to this story. Jake, thumbs up if you can hear these. Yeah, nice. Okay. That's good news.
Shit bomb.
During the special itself you would have interviews with wrestlers using their shoot names, for example.
Oh, God,
you
I
can
don't like
have an
this.
interview with the heel Randy Orton with his real wife and his thoughts about Colby and Rebecca getting married.
And can he say, can he call people the N-word on his video game streamings? On his streams? Yeah, JD Venom, thank you for the $5. Let's see where else. I guess he's got more to this.
Yeah.
So far, I don't really like it because I don't like. I'm already sick of all this shoot fucking Instagram.
I get what he's going for though, and we're the anti,
Shit
for
bomb.
this
might work for a lot more.
And then as the
people today.
interview is over with, you see Roman Reigns with his real wife in the where Andy and Roman embrace, and you hear Andy say, "It's good to see you and your wife again, Joe," keeping up with the shoot aspect.
Yeah. All right, $5 again from JD Venom. Damn, he's dropping it. He's fucking dropping it, baby. JD Venom, thank you, my friend. He's
so. Randy says it's good to see you and your wife again. Keeping up with the shoot. All right, I get where, because a lot of fans do like that. And this would attract the Total Divas crowd, and reality TV. People would go ahead and enjoy this.
As the priest is proceeding with the ceremony and gets to the part where he asks if there is anyone here that does not want to see these two wed, you can speak now or forever hold your peace. As soon as he says that, you see coming in the church Drew McIntyre.
And then he goes, "You have 3 minutes." like fucking rips off his. Remember that Eric Bischoff thing?
Yeah,
that was so good.
that was so. I never saw that.
No, like
shit. Anybody, that didn't look like him in makeup.
No,
that was incredible.
Now you can see it, but like then you fucking you weren't even thinking.
No idea.
You weren't even thinking about it.
No.
Seth asks, "What the hell are you doing here? I told you that you were not invited." Drew comes in and says, "I'm not here to make an announcement that I want to marry Rebecca, as you guys know I'm happily married."
Okay. Let's see. $5 shit bum coming from JD Venom, who's
so he's not here
telling us a story
to marry, Becky. I'm curious to see where this goes next. He's got me hooked. Did I just say 3 minutes? Yeah, Drew.
By the way, anybody out there wants to become a patron, now's the time to do it, baby. We need some new producer patron level people.
Shit bum.
But I can't live with myself knowing on what I saw backstage at TV 2 months ago. Drew then brings up that he saw and filmed from his phone that Seth and are visiting to Raw. Wrestler Tony Storm making out near one of the electrical rooms backstage.
Tony Storm, out of all the women you could choose, the one that gets the nudes sent around.
I'd be down with this storyline if the Rusev shit wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that ruins it. And his Bobby Lashley's big black cock. You gotta,
and his big white teeth.
Creeps me out.
Creepy when he smiles.
Shit bum.
And then sees them holding hands to go into one of those rooms to do God knows what. At this point, Becky is distraught and crying, and Tony Storm, who is there, tries to approach Becky and say, "Let's go talk," where Becky shoot punches and rocks Tony.
So now Tony's on her ass, and Becky should powerbomb Seth right through the goddamn altar, But I feel like the Total Divas and that kind of, crowd would eat this up in a second. Like, this is really, with those people in mind. And I don't like so much breaking a kayfabe all the time.
I want to
using
slap
real
the
names
fucking
and
black
stuff,
off his face.
Oh, shit.
This will eventually lead to a Seth versus Drew match for the Universal title to main event Mania, and Tony versus Becky match for the women's title at Mania. Watch the money and ratings and buzz roll in. What do you guys think after 12 million donations later?
JD Venom,
story.
I know that you're the top donator. I know that. JD Venom, thank you for the $20, man. That is, and all the money you just donated. JD Venom
dropped more than 20. Damn, I really like that though. When the only thing I would change is I would have them not break kayfabe as much. I understand what you're going for. You want to make it as realistic as possible, but you might have to break kayfabe to get that angle done. Because it's odd to be like, "Hey, Roman," So
what I would do is I would have like Seth and Becky in a quick little interview thing, and I'd have them talking, and I'd have Seth be like, "Yeah, at first we weren't gonna do it. We said no. WWE came to us and asked, like, can we film your wedding? And then you cut it and edit it like it's a fucking like a different thing. It doesn't feel like WWE whatever. It feels like all the happy music and the wedding." And they wanted something that could be produced that we could play on potentially on WWE TV, but mostly for E Entertainment was going to play it, and they thought about airing the whole thing, and we thought that was kind of weird, coming from wrestling with what we do over here. That's, but yeah, we decided finally we got convinced that this was something it'd be kind of cool to document our wedding and have it shot professionally, and it's like we don't have to hire a photographer or anything like that then, or a videographer. Like, it's all done, captured here, and, we don't mind anything being public. We love each other, so at this point, But, I don't know if I almost like the idea of Drew just crashing it and beating the shit out of Seth, like, ruining his wedding. I think I like the idea of just that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need, the whole, made out with somebody.
Seth didn't actually cheat. Like, they could. It's hard if they do that again, though, because even with Lana, the one night in whatever, Albuquerque, whatever the hell it was, Chad will know. They pulled that where I've got the footage, and it ends up being just, edited in such a way to make her look bad.
Yeah.
So you can't repeat that kind of storyline. So it would have to be where he just shows up and beats the hell out of him, because I doubt they'd want Seth to cheat and be the heel. If they were going to turn him heel, that's a hell of a way to do it.
Yeah, but then they're going to be together still, so it's like I would avoid all that. I would avoid that. I would keep them together, don't do any of the cheating stuff. but I would just have Drew McIntyre, because what I would do is you have a little beef with them a couple times before the wedding ever happens, and a week or 2 weeks goes by, and that's it. It seems like it's over with. Seth got the better of Drew, and then that's it. They move on. 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by. And then for him to crash a wedding like that seems real, and don't shoot it all stupid like they shoot it usually. And, him to just be tearing shit up, and like they really sold it that it was really going to be this dumb, lame, like wedding documentary thing for WWE, and the Bellas presented it. Like there could be all this shit that they did and probably a lot of people wouldn't even be watching it because they'd be like, oh, I'm not watching that. That's lame. But then for something like that to happen, I mean, that would be pretty cool. I don't need the whole cheating behind a door and that type of thing. I think that's just way too overdone and shit. And this would allow them to do this. And then Seth is like, you ruined, Drew McIntyre ruined our wedding day, and then you can have Becky just do whatever with, then she's not really involved. It's just a matter of Seth going after him. And but let's play that.
I like what Mazak said. The Fiend needs to roofie Seth and marry him in Vegas, so they're married.
He's humping him in the car. We got 179 votes. I asked you guys what you thought. It seems like it's different than what I heard. It felt like the vocal majority was in the other realm of things the other day. But yeah, here it is. I said it seems like nobody voted for the other thing. I thought, unless I didn't. Did I not put no? Did I not put no on this poll? I guess I didn't put no on this poll. Oh, I did put no. Oh, no, I didn't. I put it in the wrong spot. So you guys never had the chance for no. On AEW last night, did you expect more from a street fight in Philly? Somebody wrote yes, but I get why they did it that way. Most of you guys understood why they did it that way, and you didn't care. 32% of you said it was disappointing because you wanted more. And then there was an option for no, I guess, but that would be similar, I guess. So I fucked that up, so my bad on that part. I did it on Twitter, though, too, and I think I did it right on Twitter. So let me look at the Twitter poll. Yeah, and it's about the same on Twitter. Only 112 votes on there. I'm surprised it wasn't more. But did you expect more from the street fight at AEW? 65% of you said, yeah, but it was still okay. So you actually expected more. Like, there was an option for no. So
yeah, I think most people, did expect more from it, more violence, more weapons, tables, that kind of stuff. And
so 20% of you said it was disappointing because you didn't get more. So 65% of you thought, yeah, you expected more, but you still liked it. So, but really, that comes down to 85% of you thought, like, yeah, there's going to be like tables and there's going to be fire or who knows what. I didn't think there'd be fire. I thought there would be a couple tables and maybe like some barbed wire on a table, and that would be the street fight. Maybe they would go out into the crowd a little bit or something like that, and that never happened. They sort of just told a story in the ring, like, which, okay, that makes sense, but
yeah, I like what we got.
Philadelphia street fight
too.
It just dude, like Philadelphia street fight to me means like, oh man, we're really going to see some shit.
I think the rope break really took a lot from it as well. So watching it a second time, because I was so hyped with Jericho's, celebration at the end. He basically had his ass saved, and
it was funny at the end.
I enjoyed it so thoroughly that it detracted from the rest of the match, but took my mind out of that. And the rope breaks really did seem to bother the crowd, and they did cause some hiccups in the match. So that took away from that street fight.
But you know what though, this crowd is it's different than WWE, because everything that AEW, if they stumble or if they do something wrong or whatever, it's amazing, man. It's such a love fest, man, because nobody wants to be like, boo, what the fuck. Instead, they're like, they chanted, it's a street fight, but then after that they shut up. You know what I mean? They didn't try to, like, they were like, hey, we're letting you know, like, you fucked up, but we're also
no WWE chant.
Yeah, we're not going to hijack you. Now, Bully Ray made an interesting comment about that when I asked him earlier. Here's the clip, if I can find it. I don't have it queued up, so it might take me a second.
Or I thought we'd see tables.
Here it is. Okay, here we go.
They did something really interesting and a good story, but a lot of people I heard from...
Dave's not sitting here today going, oh, man, we...
break or whatever happened. Looking for something a little bit more hardcore, you know what I mean? It stood out during the rope break or whatever happened there, but Did you expect
That's Bully Ray breathing because he can tell it's me calling and he wants to kill me.
to see tables or something a little more hardcore? Because I had a lot of people saying that they expected that.
No. Well, if you're waiting to see furniture, then you're not paying attention to the wrestlers. If you happen to get it, great. If you didn't get it, great. I'm not sitting here today. Dave's not sitting here today going, "Oh man, we needed more violence with weapons."
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that what they did, they did something really interesting and a good story. But a lot of people I heard from that loved the show said, "Oh, I really loved it." The one thing was I was surprised it didn't, get a little bit more, hardcore. I thought we'd see tables. It came off differently than they expected, although they still enjoyed the night.
Yeah, and listen, I get it. You hear Philadelphia street fight, and you're going to expect, flaming tables and chairs and everything else. And I understand that.
By the way, I wasn't expecting flaming tables. I was expecting maybe a table, maybe one or two tables, maybe like something more hardcore than what we got. I wasn't expecting fucking ECW flaming tables, but I was expecting a little bit more something than what we got. That's
Joe, and thanks so much for the phone call. But there was not one point during that match that I said to myself, "Where's the tables?"
And you know what? It could have been a calculated move on their part, because you start bringing out too much weapons, and what do you run the risk of in Philadelphia?
You're going to get ECW chants.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you don't want. You want people chanting AEW. So I think it was a smart, calculated move to not overdo it with the weapons last night.
That's an interesting thought as well.
Yeah. Although, and it is a risk, because I honestly believe, what have you heard from the crowd whenever they're excited about something that AEW does? That you hear AEW.
Yeah.
So when Joey...
Because in WWE, when they do something hardcore, you don't hear WWE, you hear ECW, you hear, this is awesome.
But I disagree with Bully. Here's why I disagree with Bully. Because if you were worried about that, you wouldn't have had a street fight in Philadelphia. If you were worried about that, they wouldn't have even said street fight in Philadelphia. They would have said ladder match, or they would have just had main event Darby Allin Jericho. They would have said... They wouldn't have advertised a street fight. So they were ready to have a street fight. They did not, I don't think that they were like, oh no, because if somebody did go through a table, I mean, yeah, it's possible that there could be an ECW chant, but I think it's most likely that after that it would have been an AEW chant. And I think that they would have chanted AEW because
Matt made a good point too. They chanted CZW earlier.
Yeah, they chanted
Moxley,
CZW for Moxley. Like, who fucking cares? Like, so I completely disagree with Bully Ray there. Or not disagree, but I just he sort of played it off like, you wanted weapons? I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Bully Ray was
set up
like
that expectation. Granted,
yeah, they set that expectation.
Street fight. They didn't just say street fight. They said Philadelphia street fight. So you're really thinking like, all right, home hardcore, let's do this.
By the way, someone's telling me they chanted, Matt Hendricks says they chanted ECW during AEW Dark. And do you know why? Do you know why they probably actually chanted ECW? Because they realized, we didn't get the hardcore shit we thought we were going to get tonight. I'm dead serious. I'm being serious. I don't know how Bully Ray didn't understand what I was saying or didn't agree with what I was saying.
Because I think he thinks everything's an attack on, the
it's
wrestlers.
It's not, though. It's not an attack. Like, he's like, I wasn't sitting there needing barbed wire and tables. Really? Like, you didn't hear street fight in Philadelphia and think, wow, this is going to be something to see. Because I did, and so did apparently 80% of my viewers. After not being prodded the other day, I was inundated with emails and messages. We're talking about hundreds of people. And who said, I can't believe they didn't do more than that in Philly. And I'm like, so were you mad about that? They're like, well, no, I'm not mad about it, but I just was, confused. So, asking that question was very, very, they weren't going to bring that up on their program until I called. And then they were like, I never thought I wanted a table or a bat or anything. What are you talking about? You never thought of,
And yes, the ECW chants were because of Taz. We get that.
Oh, okay, yeah, and Taz was there. Yeah, so who cares? So that would be even more reason to celebrate it. Who cares? So what? If they chant ECW, it's not a big deal. They're not chanting it like, this sucks, ECW. They're chanting it like, we remember ECW and thank you for remembering.
It's a respect thing, especially for Taz. And, they wouldn't have Taz there if they were worried about having that be acknowledged.
Right.
And also, they said before, even if a WWE chant broke out, they're not discouraging it because they want the fans to be who they are and what they want to be represented. So...
Yeah, it's
Jericho said it again. We're not in competition with WWE. We're not in, we're just doing what we're doing. So
yeah,
and the more he says it, the more I believe it.
Right. No, I agree.
Because they're a lot of the things that I was worried about initially, they've kind of quelled those fears. A lot that's been put to rest. So I was hesitant about a few things that beforehand. I said I was worried about how some of the booking would work out and. Would they be tone deaf to the fans? Would it just be a straight up, elite fest? And so far, they've handled things very well.
Well, I'm going to play, again, I believe if they had done that, they would have actually got an AEW chance, and they really should have done it. They should have done a ladder and some tables, maybe. Not, and Bully Ray says, he says also, what does he say?
Let's go out to Nick in North.
I guess they didn't answer anymore, but I thought he said something like along the lines of, they're not going to bring out all this stuff already and it waters it down and all these other things. But it's like, yeah, but no, because last week Kenny Omega and Joey Janela did this. They had a fucking knockdown, drag out tables, ladders,
just because that
chairs.
Was a dark match, and it was also.
But it aired to 1 million people on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. I don't because it wasn't on national television.
I couldn't.
Because Matt the Misfit said, Tony Khan said they wouldn't be doing the same kind of violence they did with Moxley, Janela, Darby, Jericho because they're national TV. But then again, they still have the TV-14 rating, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't go that way.
They hung up on me, but I wish I could have had a few more minutes to argue with him about that. Maybe I'll send him a clip of this or something, but I don't think Bully Ray cares. He'd probably rather smash my face in. But the fact of the matter is, I just disagree. I just can't. Who cares? Like, they fucking chant ECW. Who gives a fuck if they do that? They already do it. They already chanted CZW. They already chanted ECW. It's how they're chanting and what they're. It's just like in fucking the English language with context. It doesn't matter if you say a naughty word. It's how you said it. Did you say it to be racist? Did you say it to be homophobic? Or are you just fucking with somebody? Like, how you said it matters. Like, how you meant it. Like, were you saying it in love? Like, they're saying it in love.
A ceremonious moment, and, are you doing it in jubilation out of, respect? And, like you said, or is it because something went so terribly wrong and they made such an egregious booking decision that the fans are revolting and chanting another company's name because you fucked up once again and ruined my entire childhood, you pieces of shit. Sorry.
No, but I love Bully. I do love Bully, but this is Bully Ray being like way too sort of old school and being too calculated about things and like.
Well, he immediately has to defend the business and defend the guys rather than take any other perspective about things.
Right.
Well, you were never in the ring, and it's not your body on the line, and it's. We get that. That's not what's being said here.
Yeah. We're not like calling for blood. Like what? Like they needed to go out and just kill themselves. Like that's not at all.
They made Darby look great in defeat. They handled it, I thought, very well. I mean, technically, the way they managed to have him, basically be handcuffed through a portion of the match and still look impressive. People are going to remember that.
Right.
They did a lot of good in that main event. Even with Hager coming out and screwing things up, it all serves the greater good of Jericho's inner circle. So I get what they were going for. I would have liked to have seen a bit more, but like you said, it was still enjoyable, thankfully.
Yeah, it was great. It was still good. It's just like, wow, if they had done that, the roof would have blown off that place. Yeah. And I couldn't believe that they didn't want to blow the roof off that place. I don't care what Bully Ray says. I don't care what any other experts say. If they had just introduced at least something, the crowd told you, we want tables. And yes, Jericho obviously shouldn't be the one to get the table. It should have been Darby Allin to go get a table maybe. But they told you they wanted something like that, and you did not give it to them. And Cody Rhodes was on the show the other day saying about how they, WWE wasn't giving them something. And I just believe that they gave them the benefit of the doubt. If WWE said, next week we're coming to Philadelphia Philly is always a hardcore wrestling, blah, blah, blah. And that's why the main event will be a street fight between Seth Rollins and blah, blah, blah. And then they showed up there, and then they did this exact thing. The crowd would have flipped the fuck out. And then, even if Seth Rollins had his hands tied behind his back and he climbed up on the rope and did a flip off the rope with his hands tied, people would have oohed and ahhed at that a little bit. But at the end of the night, we all would be bitching about what the fuck, what kind of street fight was that? Oh, yeah. Wow, great street fight, WWE in Philadelphia. That really took me back.
No, you're right.
Is Bully Ray going to then go like, we don't want them cheering ECW? Like, what?
And Adam Ant made a great point too. Omega had a barbed wire, broomstick with him before that, and the bat was barbed wire. And
right.
That's such a Cactus Jack thing, like you said. That's
referee grabbed the barbed wire part.
Yeah.
I sounded like Duke Nukem. Well, fuck yeah. When John St. John dies, I'll be the new Duke Nukem with my boomstick in hand.
It's a great point that you made there, because the fact that neither one gets a pass, Yeah,
just very contradictory. I think Bully knew it was me, so he was like, "Fuck this guy." But whatever. I love him. I love him.
NXT blew their load on their first episode. Ha 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 ha.
He does know a lot more than me. I will definitely say that. I'm just trying to I don't agree on this one. Thank you. Yeah, they blew their load.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought both shows were good.
No, I mean about him knowing more.
NXT needs to get the fuck out of Full Sail.
Yeah, they you know what? It doesn't matter. Mike Amelto, I really don't believe. I almost don't think it matters. I just think that they feel like a fake. They feel like
what else we got?
Like
a little bit of the bubbly. That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Deborah gave me an STD fuck.
Deborah gave me an STD fuck.
Tommy should get checked out. Stupid cunt gave me crabs.
Die.
Fuck.
Die whore. My name is Duke Nukem. I can't get it going. Mike Amelto, thank you for the $3, man. Yeah, Tommy's too busy trying not to be killed by his ex-roommate, who is like stalking him and being crazy and trying to get him to sell things illegally to make money for him, and then took all his money for the belt. So Tommy's in some crazy situation.
Cocksucker, suck the cock. I'm allowed to talk forever.
Oh.
I got a fucking dick. I'm not allowed to talk as long as everybody else. Fuck you, fucking cocksucker. Suck your own dick tonight.
Jesus.
Sup, Joe and Jake missed wrestling this week because of the wedding and work. Just wanted to.
Whoa.
Come in and drop a mini bomb. Keep up the good work, fellas.
Yeah, Nate.
Wow.
Congratulations again.
Congrats, man. A happily married Nate from VA. I don't know why I did it like that. Nate from VA. Thank you, man. Congratulations.
Help the hell out of that honeymoon period. I'm telling you.
Wow. Nate from VA. We're on our way to the computer, maybe. Nate from VA, thanks. Except for YouTube's going to take 30% of that, so that sucks. But Nate from VA, thank you for the $50, baby. We are going to go to the phone lines. Let me see where
I know
we're
Capital Murder said he was trying to call. You mentioned about him joining for the night, too. So
Yeah, I'm going to get Capital Murder on and a bunch of people on tonight. I told a lot of people I'd put them on tonight. So we're going to get there in a minute.
My GF is gone for the weekend. I am all yours, Joe.
Let's go, baby. Let's rock it. Let's do this. I'm so old school. It's me and you, dude. Say goodbye to the girl tonight. Put her away.
Super chat.
It's me and you.
Party.
NWA Power, love it. The old school vibe, the intense promos. Nick Aldis looks like a real champion with that 10 pounds of gold. Who cares about WWE, lol.
Court Foreman, thank you for the $9. Yeah, right now my rankings are and I'm ranking by excitement, and really how I feel. Court Foreman, and thank you, Court, for that. I rank it like, AEW, NXT, NWA, and then probably like MLW and Reality of Wrestling. I tied in there somewhere, and then after that probably like, Raw and SmackDown. And the reason why no one else is in that list is just because I'm not watching anybody else. So, if everything I'm watching, if I was to rank it, it would probably be AEW, NXT, NWA,
Super
and whatever else I just listed.
Party.
Is the AEW roster big enough? Pick 5 new additions.
Well, it'd be not, well, Wardlow hasn't appeared yet. I mean, where's
there's still,
Dino, thank you.
Let's see, who do I really want? Nia Jax, that'd be a good one.
Oh God. Nia's ACL repair. I mean, she's going to be a mess when she comes back. You thought she was slow before.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I had mentioned that not that long ago, and I said, she's already plotting. And
Can you imagine her double ACL surgery? She could barely move before. She could barely pick people up without falling over. It felt like her balance is awful. Like if you were to give wrestlers a score of balance based on their agility and stuff like that, like her balance is like a 1 out of 10. Like or not
a 2.
Oh,
bad.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want
That's
some
it.
bubbly? Look at
Oh
this
God.
stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Mike Hamilton, thank you for the $3. Come on, man. You make me have to censor that? What the fuck? Mike Hamilton, thank you for the $3. Jake, what's the next thing that you really wanted to get to before we go to the phone lines? We're going
right
to the
off
phone
bat,
lines.
Sasha's going to be back Friday. She's apparently returning from injury. PW Insider reports that she's scheduled officially to return this Friday at SmackDown. So,
oh boy,
the issue she had from Hell in a Cell was an issue with her tailbone. So it seems like when she landed on her ass coming off of the chair, when she got drop kicked by Becky, that re-aggravated an issue she had with her lower back.
I was going to say that she just bruised it, because if you bruise it, it can take a week or two.
Seems to be that way.
All right, I would think it's a bruise. Like if anything else, there's something's wrong. If you have another problem with your tailbone, like something else going on, that's scary, because that's like surgery and it doesn't sit right. But I could see her falling on her ass and bruising her tailbone. That would be...
Well, this lines up. It's been 12 days since Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
So that makes perfect sense.
I've bruised my tailbone, got to be 9 times, and every time it's like 2 fucking weeks.
Ice Storm. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I've done that. So speaking of injured wrestlers, though, still on the shelf, Jinder Mahal, Lars Sullivan, Mickie James, who they're thinking now definitely won't return. Ruby Riott just gave an update saying that she's still working to... make her comeback. Nia Jax, obviously, as we just brought up. Jeff Hardy, who I want to get back to in a second. And then Ember Moon and Samoa Joe. So, obviously, we saw Samoa Joe with a cast on the other day. And, he was part of the panel for the WWE draft on this week's Raw. We don't know when he'll be back, but it's not a too serious injury with a broken thumb. So, he'll be back soon enough. But Jeff Hardy, one of the things I want to discuss here is that Matt is just withering away on the shelf here because Jeff's injured. And while Jeff's injured, he's allowing his addictions and demons to get the better of him. He just had another DUI, however you want to say it. And
why won't they do something with Matt if it's like, oh, Jeff's not around? Oh, well, no thanks, Matt.
Fightful revealed recently that due to his absence from television, his contract with WWE was extended by a year.
Who?
Jeff Hardy.
Oh, because of his sickness?
Because of him being away
so he'll be stuck
so many times.
He'll be stuck in WWE. Matt won't.
Exactly. So Matt will at least have a year away from his brother, but they won't use Matt right now without Jeff, and I think that is...
They don't value Matt at all. They hate you, Matt.
They never valued Matt.
They always hated you.
They never have, and there's so much potential that he still has to offer to the
Well, there really isn't. There really isn't, because... they don't know how to access his potential. His potential was amazing in Impact Wrestling. His potential was amazing on the independent scene. But in WWE, it's completely stifled. It doesn't work because they didn't let it work. And now it's ruined. It's ruined. It will never work now. Just like Bray Wyatt, it will never work. His might work still, but Matt Hardy will never work now.
Bray's a big point of contention, too, as we were discussing before the show, is the fact that both shows... SmackDown and Raw want Bray Wyatt. They really didn't work this out well. I guess Fox really, really wants the Fiend. And guess what? So does USA.
No shit. They want the highest rated thing there is in the company right now?
Exactly. So what we're getting is that he is going to be on SmackDown for now. We thought that trade that was announced the other day on the Fox Sports 1 WWE Backstage show was going to be for Bray Wyatt or the Fiend, but no, instead and ended up being Alexa Bliss and Nikki. And so not only did they change plans for Crown Jewel now with Seth Rollins, he's no longer, as we said, the captain of Team Hogan, but they did add the match of The Fiend against against Seth Rollins in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the Universal title. Okay, that's interesting, but besides that, they also announced a steel cage main event for Raw in Long Island on November 4th, and that's going to be, the champion versus The Fiend once again. So, Bray might be the champion then. There might be a rematch. We don't know, but again, we have a SmackDown superstar fighting on Raw, so it's not just Crown Jewel that we're getting; it's on Raw as well. So, here we are. They told us that they were getting rid of this wild card rule, and lo and behold, it's not going anywhere.
Huh.
And that's they said it multiple times. Goodbye, wild card. We're getting rid of it. It's not going to be here anymore. They announced, the last of the free agents. No Way Jose, Mojo Rawley, Sarah Logan, Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins went to Raw. SmackDown got Luke Harper, Cesaro, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and Drake Maverick. And what was confusing is that they split Luke Harper and Eric Rowan already. They're on different shows now. And part of me, is questioning that decision, obviously, because so maybe they do want a big heel going to Raw. Okay, I can see why they want Eric Rowan going there and continue the heel run, but you just brought these two back together. I fail to see why split them up. Some people were saying, well, they pretty much accomplished all they could together, as far as the Bludgeon Brothers goes, but I feel like they just reinvigorated the magic with these two, kind of forming as allies once again. Maybe it's because Luke Harper still wants to leave WWE, and this is just a way to get him out of the limelight once again. It worked just for that one angle, and then they got rid of it. Because I really doubt they're going to revive Luke Harper's singles career.
No, he's done too, probably. They used him to help Rowan, just like they would use Matt Hardy because of Jeff Hardy. They now hate Luke like they treat Matt.
It really seems that way. Other people had said that there's too many similar teams, that you can't have the Bludgeon Brothers, even if they weren't called that anymore, but in that regard, be around. Sure. When you have the Viking Raiders, you have AOP, it really seems like there's, too many of the same style of tag teams. I don't think that holds any water, but...
I mean, what are they talking about? If that's true, what the fuck? Your tag team division sucks, and you're worried about, there's too many similar... What? You don't have any teams, you fucking idiots. WWE's stupid as hell, man. They really suck.
But for them to say that, there's too many similar teams or there's nothing left for them to accomplish, I don't see that being a viable reason why. If you told me that
there's no championships that matter, that's why there's nothing left for anybody to accomplish.
Well, yeah, that's damn truth. But also, if you told me, all right, it's because we have plans for Eric Rowan going to Raw and we want him to be a big heel on his own, I could maybe see that being believable, especially now that him and Roman are going to be on separate shows. You have quite the potential for different feuds there. But anything else that has been thrown around is just nonsense to me. Speaking of Roman, they gave him a match tonight on SmackDown coming up against Shinsuke Nakamura for the IC title. So out of nowhere, Roman's back in the mid-card scene. And he'll be taking on, Nakamura with Sami Zayn in his corner. And that's, I'm sure Roman will win. It's hard to bet against him. Like we said, it's the Harlem Globetrotters of the WWE. They also announced that we're going to get a big women's tag match. So it's the depth of the SmackDown women's division will be on full display in a loaded 6-pack challenge. So we're getting Carmella, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. And they're all going to square off for the opportunity to face Bayley for the SmackDown women's title.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they won't be facing her for the title at Crown Jewel. So
Yeah,
and then we also have one more match announced. We're going to go ahead, and it said ahead of the largest tag team turmoil match in WWE history at Crown Jewel, SmackDown's tag team division will clash Friday night when the New Day teams up with Heavy Machinery to take on the Revival and Dolph Ziggler and Real Robert Roode. So they're going to have 8-man tag match as well. So we have a 6-pack challenge, we have an IC title match, and then we have the 8-man tag announced for SmackDown.
It's going to suck ass. So SmackDown's going to suck. Everybody enjoy that piece of shit tomorrow night. Let's open up the phone lines.
6-pack challenge with the women, I'm curious to see.
I'm not.
I can see why you wouldn't be, but honestly, I'm curious as who they're going to go with to be the number one contender.
WWE's murdered all of my hopes. We're gonna go to the listeners and to you people out there now in the world. 830, what's up? Oh my God! Please have your fucking shit ready to go.
While you're trying to get some calls, who do you think is going to win that match, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
I don't know. I don't care.
Carmella,
Fuck SmackDown.
Cross, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, Sonya Deville, or Mandy Rose?
Lacey Evans.
That seems logical. I'd say her, Nikki Cross, because Nikki's been pretty white hot with the crowd. But they had plans for Carmella coming up as well. They want to make her be more relevant so she can do more with Total Divas. So
whatever they do, they'll fuck it up anyway. So WWE, you suck. 831, hello.
Hey, Joe. What's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, I think that WWE is tanking on purpose. They got all this money. XFL is gonna fail, so I think they're tanking on purpose.
Why?
They're just phoning it in. That's all they're doing.
But why?
Thinking I don't know. It's them. They're done.
But what do you mean they're done? They're making millions of dollars over in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but so is Enron too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would they purposely try and?
No, it's just that they don't have no try. Remember in the 80s when wrestling was the height?
Yeah.
There's no more incentive no more. It's like with UFC and PBC, they're just making money now. They don't have to sell out nothing no more.
Oh, well, okay. If you tell me that's a different thing though. Like, I don't think you're saying like they're tanking on purpose. What you really mean is they don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. They don't really care. Like that or they're complete morons. It's one of the two. It's either they don't really care or they're complete morons. It can only be those two things. And and that's because in 95 again, I go back to this story all the time because this is eye-opening. In 1996, and you know what I mean? They were coming for the fucking water coolers in the office. They couldn't pay the fucking water company, and they came for the fucking water coolers. And that was when Vince McMahon said, okay, we got to do something. We're going to do this fucking new attitude and like have this fucking adult program. That's where everything finally changed. And that was when they were coming for the fucking water coolers. What are they doing right now? What they're doing right now is they're bringing money into the building. They keep getting rewarded for stupid shit. So the more they fuck up and the more they suck, the more Saudi Arabia or somebody gives them like $50 million or $1 billion for nothing. So they just have no incentive. It's literally like the new generation of kids nowadays. Everybody's like, oh, I just win no matter what. I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter. And the whole world wants you held down. Like, oh, I win no matter what. Maybe, I don't know. How can I do better? Like, oh, I'm going to get a free scholarship. You know what I mean? Oh, white people.
Precipitation trophies.
Yeah, it's all I can't even say the word. Precipitation. Yeah. What participation? What am I, Tommy NC? Fucking tater tealer?
When you hear it wrong enough, it fucks you up.
Yeah, dude.
I just think that no, they're not tanking intentionally. I think Vince is a stubborn mule, and he has a vision. He has a certain way things in his mind need to go, and he's not going to have anyone tell him otherwise. Especially being surrounded by thousands of yes men and women, he's not going to change his mind.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what the audience wants because he thinks he knows what the audience wants. End of story.
I didn't mean to hang up on him.
We've seen that time and time again.
Dino just hit me up on Twitter. He reminded me that I only said Wardlow. I mean, Wardlow's already hired too, so that doesn't count. He wanted 5 additions to AEW. Let's look at 5 additions to AEW on the independent scene. I mean, I think Will Ospreay always comes to mind. I don't care, though. I think they have too many of that. I think they need to start getting some larger-than-life characters, some guys that can really, make a difference, like with maybe some charisma and stuff like that. I'm trying to look up a list of former wrestlers.
What about Josh Briggs?
Yeah, but he's in Evolve. Isn't that going to be WWE's deal?
I'm just saying, if you want people to join, who I would want to see go there. I mean, does it have to be? Are we going realistic, or are we going like fantasy here?
Well, I mean, I guess it's realistic. I guess you could, right, Josh Briggs. I mean, obviously, like I've got friends that I know that could be there. Like,
he doesn't have a developmental deal with NXT or the Performance Center yet. So, I mean, there's still a possibility that he could be swayed to the other side away from Evolve.
But. How about Flip Gordon? I mean, could come over eventually.
We couldn't think of her name the other day, but like you said, it sucks that they lost Kylie Ray.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, what happened there? I still don't know. I'd like to see Thunder Rosa in the company. I like Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, Flip Gordon, Thunder Rosa, and then there's probably there's a bunch of others I'm leaving out.
Somebody had tweeted me the other day and said, check out Myron Reed. Now, it's not someone that I knew about beforehand.
Yeah.
And he's really young. I think he's 22, maybe 23. I know he's really young, though. He was working for IWA, OVW, and then he went to AEW. But some of the stuff he was doing was crazy, and he's only been wrestling for like a short period of time. So
I'm just trying to remember who's not signed and who's signed to stuff. Like John Morrison apparently is signed to WWE, but then they say they aren't. So if John Morrison wasn't signed, I would want to get him signed to, and I'm just talking about them from AEW. Me personally, I couldn't care. The people I want signed would be somebody who's interesting, and I don't know who's out there that's like, wow, I've got to have that guy. I actually signed Billy Gunn, but Billy Gunn's already in the office.
What about Jay Lethal?
I'd have Billy Gunn wrestling. Yeah, I'd have Jay Lethal. I'd definitely have Jay Lethal because he can talk on the mic. Jay Lethal would be somebody I'd go with.
If you can get Juice Robinson away from
I would love
Japan.
I'd love to grab Vinny Marseglia from Ring of Honor just for the Horror King gimmick. I want the Horror King gimmick in AEW. Like, I want him to be like this crazy motherfucker, and like he could have matches with people. Like, it would be a good, low mid card guy. I mean, I don't know. I like what he's turned himself into. I can remember really was like 6 years ago talking to Vinny like, yeah, you've kind of got nothing. You looked like Jeff Hardy before. Now you look like Randy Orton. Like people are just comparing you that way. You need he needs his own thing. And I have this on a show saying this. And what was it a year later he created this Ink Sanity thing, and then a year after that he developed this Horror King thing, and then it really got out of control with I was like, wow, he is a character now. This is amazing. So I think they need a few more characters to come in, and I don't know. I like the idea of Horror King. He's not going to blow up the AEW fans with wow, his wrestling, he's so crazy like the Young Bucks. He's not like that. He's kind of a classic style, but I would like to see that. I think they need a few more guys who can have these classic wrestling matches. More traditional.
The Fiend's out now because he had that kind of style to his gimmick.
Yeah,
the red balloon, and the horror.
And I'd say Nick Aldis, but he's in NWA, so there's a lot of guys who are getting to work with another promotion.
Moose is still an Impact, right?
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, Moose is okay. I don't do flips for Moose though, but I like Moose though, but I don't. I mean, I haven't seen him do anything that I'm like, yeah, I got to watch that. I mean, not that he couldn't.
I liked him in Ring of Honor, so.
Let me see here. I mean, the roster for Impact is so fucking. I don't even know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. They've got. The roster's weird, man. There's not even. I was hanging out with Fala Ba the other day. I got to call one of his matches, but he's locked up. I guess, or he's not locked up, but yeah, like Rhino's over there. Yeah, this is a really hard question for me right now. Like, I just can't. I mean,
one that I'm
Brian
surprised
Cage. I'd put Brian Cage over there, but he's in Impact too.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Marty Scurll didn't sign with AEW. I figured he would have worked something.
But he didn't sign anywhere, did he?
Not that I'm aware of now.
He's under contract. That's why he's not in AEW.
Yeah, but he didn't. I really figured he would have worked something out and either talent share or something. But
no, I mean, like him and Gordon. No, Ring of Honor hates AEW. They've ruined Ring of Honor.
Well, no, he was with New Japan last, wasn't he?
No, I don't think. I think Marty Scurll signed with Ring of Honor. I'm pretty sure he signed with Ring of Honor.
No, you're right. He's still with Ring of Honor. Yeah.
So that's why when AEW launched, it was like, sorry, Marty, you still got another 2 years on your contract at Ring of Honor, and now
how long he has left.
Yeah. So it's like, with Marty, and I'm not the biggest. I don't know. I'm not. They got too many guys.
It expires in November.
Yeah, it's coming up. Sammy Callahan, thank you very much. Music for Life in the chat. I would absolutely put Sammy Callahan. Yes, thank you so much. You nailed it. He's so what is he? My second or third pick. So I mean, Wardlow's coming. So whatever. Wardlow doesn't count. He's already there. That's why I'm talking about him. But yes, Sammy Callahan, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Scurll's a free agent as of November. So
yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't heard more of a buzz about it now than already.
So Marty
not that much time left. Because you figure NXT would obviously compete for him as well. No, just knowing that.
Yeah,
they don't want him to go to AEW. Maybe he's already got something lined up with AEW, and they just don't want him to say anything. So maybe that's why they're keeping it quiet.
I might put Killer Cross.
Because everything that he worked with the Elite and stuff, it was great then.
I'd probably put Killer Cross on that list too. I think. I'd probably put Killer Cross on there. Oh, I would also sign. I'd also sign my buddy JT Dunn. I'd bring JT Dunn, Sammy Callahan, Killer Cross, Marty Scurll, and I mean Taven's locked up in Ring of Honor. I don't think he signed a big thing.
I think his expires not too long out as well.
Well, I wouldn't. I would sign. Who was the other guy? There's someone else. There's one other guy that I really. Shit. Eddie Edwards. I love Eddie Edwards, and I know him pretty well from being the same area. Alicia Edwards. I mean, you could add Alicia and Eddie to the roster; they'd do well. But I just think that we need some more. We need some more charisma, and Eddie has actually done a really good job of coming out of his quiet shell. But he always kind of reminded me of Lance Storm, in a good way. But 305. Hello.
Hi, Joe. I have a question for you and Jake.
Yeah.
With the talks falling through with WWE and Pro Wrestling Noah, do you think NXT Japan's going to happen, or do you think they're going to push that for later?
I don't think it's going to happen. That was one of the things I was going to talk about afterwards. So. Wrestling Observer Live was on, and they were talking about it, and they said that Stardom wanted to know, what are your plans if you buy Stardom? WWE said, we don't have any. And, as a result, that deal fell through.
Just to buy it.
That's what Brian Alvarez says. So WWE tried to buy both Stardom and Noah, and both organizations turned them down. And then, surprisingly enough, New Japan's parent company acquired Stardom. So... do you
think honestly, do you think it's because Vince doesn't know how to deal with this? I think we talked about this before, but do you think it has to do with Vince not knowing how to deal with this generation of fans? He's so used to dealing with your guys' generation of fans, the people in their like 30s and 40s, late 30s, early 40s, and stuff like that. That he doesn't know how to deal with my generation of fans, the millennials and stuff like that.
But what's crazy is he's losing the market to those people. He's literally losing the market of us. He's losing the 30 and 40. He's losing everybody. The 18 to 50-year-old demographic they're the ones watching AEW.
And what's your opinion on? Do you think what was your rating finally for NXT on Wednesday? By chance?
My rating for NXT, I didn't do my review yet, but I think I ended up giving it a 6.
That's what I gave it, a 6.
Do you think? Do you like Damon Punishment Martinez's gimmick, or not so much? It's really lame.
I mean, how long did it take to get this guy on the TV finally?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, honestly.
Yeah,
they're going for that metal.
Jake, what's your opinion on the gimmick? What is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be like this metal. I really don't know what to make of it entirely at this point, because at first it was like, is he kind of a vampire kind of feel, or is it more like a dark priest, and it's got this very dark, brooding metal vibe to it. So I don't.
When I look at it, it looks like a club playboy kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that as well. So it's. I don't think it's nailed down for them yet either.
Yeah, I mean, this is it was almost like a trial run. This may be the pilot episode of this for him, but
it was a good match too. Pete Dunne had a good showing, but
it's just
I like the main event.
The guy was so cool
before. Do you think
they're
setting up with Imperium being on NXT Prime, basically on NXT now? Do you think they're going to be setting up a feud with them and what's it called what's it called?
The champs right now, or are you talking about somebody else? Like, because I know they beat Oni Lorcan the other day, so I saw that.
Yeah.
No, the setting up the feud with Roderick Strong and
Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually.
Undisputed Era face.
That could be something huge for War Games, So I don't know how they want to go in that regards, but we'll have to see. Because you figure they could use everybody but Cole for the War Games match and do it that way, 3 teams.
Martinez is going with the Diesel pants too. That's the first thing I thought was like, oh, it's Diesel. It's fucking Hispanic Diesel. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's so big, and Vince is gonna love him if he can harness him the right way that Vince wants him.
Out of all 3 guys that I like from Ring of Honor, though, my favorite person, the one that shows the most personality out of all 3 of them is Keith Lee.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing about Ring of Honor right now is I think they really thought they were really putting their eggs in the basket of, Taven and all them, over at Ring of Honor. But you're talking about Keith Lee and NXT, like the big guy,
basking his glory,
the big guy. I love Keith Lee. I love that guy. That guy is somebody. If NXT didn't have Keith Lee, this guy would be totally in the NWA probably, and he would kill it.
And that's why I was so disappointed with NXT, because I know what they were trying to set up, the triple threat match, and I get what they were doing. But this was the blow-off match between these two.
Right.
And they have had so many great matches. Him and Dominic really, just were so damn impressive. Back and forth. And this match was really good. It was a really good match. And then to have it just end in such an anticlimactic way, I get the story, purposes of it all. And you want to, Strong thinks he's screwing over the match so he won't have to face anyone. It turns into a triple threat. And I get it, but I was so into that match to see who would finally be victorious. So
in my
was
opinion, when I look at Dominic, he reminds me kind of Marco Corleone, Mark Jindrak. Do you agree with that comparison, or
Jindrak?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he kind of does. I mean, I know him a little bit. I never thought that, to be honest. That's interesting because, I watched that guy here in Boston a lot. Before
You're not
he
the
got
first one
picked
that
up.
said that either. So
yeah,
interesting. I was reading the other day, was talking about him, and he mentioned comparison.
No, because of how tall he is and the athletic ability he has.
Yeah,
you saw Mark Jindrak used to be able to do like moonsaults at his size.
Yeah,
no one at that size is supposed to do that.
He's got really long legs and when he jumps, it looks like he doesn't even have any effort. He just kind of floats over the rope, and he does that spaceman outside the ring move, that backflip to the outside. That's crazy shit, man. But yeah, you're right. I never thought about
that. Do you think he needs a manager specifically if Vince wants him to move to push him to the main roster right away?
I know that he can talk.
Needs a manager?
I know that he can talk. I don't know why he's not, why he wouldn't talk, because I've heard him talk. And problem is, when he does talk, I could see if he's a heel, he's not always done the best job of being a heel. He always kind of comes off like a face, even if he's supposed to be like, you know what, you all suck, and like, or whatever he has to say, and he still comes off like a face. You're like, oh, is he joking with us? Now I could be wrong, but that's how I've experienced him a lot. Super chat. Dan Andrews, thank you for the $2 super chat coming in, man. I really appreciate that. I don't know why I didn't see Capital Murder calling him. Something wrong with my Skype? I mean, I started this show all fucked up. I was supposed to do a bunch of stuff tonight.
Give me that hell yeah!
Got all messed up.
Hey, show him here to add more stress to your life with this annoying question. Fuck. When will the monetize this title finally be defended again, and do we even know how many points in the bank things people have at this point? You don't have to answer that now, though.
Parker, thanks for the donation. We know because Monica keeps track of it all. She knows. But I was just told earlier that the belt was sent back to Canada to S.Dollar by accident or by mail fuck up or something. So now S. has the belt back again. I saw the tracking and it said it got sent back. I don't know why.
My name is Kane and I'm donating
Naya's open legs.
Don't you talk shit about me like that, Joe. I can suck your dick dry. I bet my jaws have a perfect balance and you won't talk shit about that now, would you? I bet I can squat over your cock and be well and balanced for that. Fucking suck my tangy poon.
Naya Open Legs Dance, thank you for the 666. Jesus Christ, Naya Open Legs Dance. My God. He's back up again. Wow, that is unbelievable stuff. Naya Open Legs Dance, thank you for the 666. I'll put that towards the new computer. Nate from VA is the largest donation of the stream. He could take home that digital title. Whoa! Frog off.
WWE has pretty much boxed themselves in a corner once again with stupidity writing SMH.
Yep. Nate. Thank you, Nate. Nate from VA. Nate, much appreciated, dude, with a $20 drop. Nate is beasting tonight. Nate just paid back the 30% the YouTube took. Thank you, Nate. I love you, man. And congratulations on the wedding and everything else, too. Of course. Yeah, WWE keeps boxing themselves. Well, I mean, the example of it is like, what was up with The Fiend and Seth Rollins? From the very beginning, we said, why are they even doing this? Why would they start this right now? Why would they do this? And I guess the only defense I can think of now is that they wanted to create this long rivalry beginning with kind of some shocking moments or something. That's
seems that way.
I mean, right? Because that's the only thing.
Party.
Clark Herman, what's up?
One of the reasons I quit being a fan of wrestling is cause it's not about star power and larger-than-life characters anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely missing. That's the missing element. I mean, it really is. No matter what you think, what you say. Yes, are we all happy that there's so much wrestling? Yes. But we're still missing wrestling fans. This isn't a boom. People are like, oh, it's such a boom. Like, wrestling is the hottest in a long time or whatever.
Well, that's why I was so excited about The Fiend. That was the first character we've had in a long time. Everybody else, Sasha Banks, Finn Balor, Becky Lynch. Finn Balor kind of had it with the WWE. Fucked that up.
No, yeah, I know you're right.
I didn't know if there was another donation coming through.
No,
yeah, they messed that up, and it was just so disappointing. I was such a huge fan of Balor, and I liked the idea of him having this inner demon to go ahead and rely on when he couldn't get the job done, or he absolutely needed to nut up or shut up. That was the time to channel this monster. But they didn't expound on that. They didn't explain it. They didn't have I could become the demon, and that was it. And it just turned into face paint. They ruined the magic of it. At least in NXT, they had a little bit of the mysticism, expounded upon. With this, it was just, you can dab on some face paint and crawl around. You like it, right? And then we're going to paint them orange and have him fight a guy pretending to be a girl in a cheesecloth. The whole thing just turned into straight nonsense after a while. And then it also made you question the fact of, if he could channel this undefeatable monster, Why not do so when you absolutely need to win, against the Brock Lesnar, against, whoever was champion at the time? Yeah, he was humanized, Raffman, you're and embarrassed, and that's right. Even if the Fiend, the Fiend can recover from this, maybe, but by having him, he kicked out at one, but when you do nothing else for the next 12 minutes except only kick out at one, it's not that impressive. If he had 3 stomps in a row, Seth immediately goes for the pin, then he kicks out. Oh, there you go. All right, kick out at one. That's impressive. Now keep it up. Now he gets back up, and now he's giving Seth hell after 3 stomps. Wow, that barely even affected him. No, he just lied there. He did nothing for the next 8 minutes, it felt like, until the match ended via, ref stoppage, DQ, however you want to put it. And yeah, Matt, Nikki Cross was another one that, the character for the women's division, you said they ruined her. They had a chance to make her be special. She was this insane, looming bipolar, sadistic person, and yet again they just flushed that away to put her with Alexa Bliss. We're going to have you be the not so popular and kind of frumpy one to make Alexa look better. And, look, she's a good person because she took you under her wing. It's just to make Alexa look better. And I like Alexa, but it's a shitty thing. Unfortunately, with The Fiend, I was so excited because I did like the backwater hillbilly cult leader character that was Bray Wyatt. I liked the idea of it because it was the first time we got a character in a long time. So when we saw this whole Firefly Funhouse introduction, it was so outlandish and out there and just bizarre that it felt exactly how I felt when I first watched, the build to the deletion match. Brother Nero, I knew you'd come, and the contract signing and everything that was going on before they had their deletion match. Part of me was like, this is not wrestling. What are they doing? This is a travesty. This is a joke. And then the other part of me was like, wow, this is so interesting because I haven't seen anything like it. And then you just further fall in love with it. I was all about Bray as soon as he started off with this, incredible, evil, sinister Mr. Rogers gimmick. You knew there was more than meets the eye here. And that's the thing. We wanted to know more. We couldn't wait to see what happened week in and week out because it was intriguing, it was unique, and it was special. And it really was. It truly was special. We got to see something that we hadn't seen before, a sadistic, children's television show that there was so many levels they could have, really delved into that we didn't get to see. Why were the children, in the house to begin with him? How did the children get, there's so many things. And I like what they did with the Puppet Pals. Everybody has their own character. It's not just more of the Fiend or more of Bray. Everybody had a purpose as well. The McMahon character, the Overseer. Ramblin' Rabbit is the, the Two-Face, the Snitch. It's just, the Pig, Huskus, obviously is Bray's NXT character. The overweight, you're not going to make it, can't do anything right. Former iteration that was Bray before he became Bray and now the Fiend.
I think I figured it out.
Everything fell into place. It worked out well. So I just genuinely enjoyed the character, and it's amazing how in just such a short amount of time they took these great ideas and dwindled it into nothing by not only humanizing him, but making it no longer feel special.
Do you think this is why they killed Nikki Cross? Because they were like, wait a minute, we've already got Bray Wyatt coming. Because they planned this for a year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah.
They were like,
had, Bray
Nikki
was off TV for quite some time. So, yeah, it makes sense why they toned down Nikki drastically. Because you went from this unhinged character in NXT, and as soon as she made her call-up, that was it. There was no mention of her being involved in Sanity. It was just she was separate entirely, and she was nothing but a shell of her former self. So it makes perfect sense.
And then they killed Sanity. It's like, what the fuck?
They put an axe through Sanity's head as quick as they could because, again, that was something that would have messed up Bray.
Oh, my God.
Tommy chiming in.
Thoughts on Corey Graves' podcast? What kind of gay pussy shit is this? WWE needs to stay in their own lane and worry about their shows first. Fuck Corey Graves, fuck WWE, and most importantly, fuck Pitbull number 2 from the Pitbulls.
Nebbit the Jew, thank you for $9.99, my friend. Yeah, so WWE's got this new podcast. Is that what is that also Corey
Yeah, it's
Graves?
WWE After the Bell. It's going to be on Wednesday, October 30th. I believe it's on Apple Podcasts and Endeavor Radio. And After the Bell's first guest is going to be none other than Triple H. He's going to join Corey Graves. They said the description for the show is that it'll be an edgy and unpredictable look at the latest in Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown and NXT. So
yeah, I'm sure it'll be edgy.
I'm sure it'll be real edgy. I don't know how I feel yet. I'm going to give it a chance, but I'm not exactly looking forward to it.
We'll see.
Corey Graves made some like offhanded comment too, saying like, "Oh, the only reason I got this is thanks to dating Carmella." He said, "I'm genuinely excited as a wrestling fan to bring you this podcast. You know, I want your questions, your feedback. I don't even think WWE knows the power they just armed us with. Let's go." So at least he's excited about it. And then people said, the reason I got it, he said, "Are people finally caring about me because my girlfriend is famous?" So
remember
I thought that was funny.
Remember the TV show with him and Rosenberg and everybody? And it's like that didn't work out well because they kind of half said what they wanted to say and it was kind of a shoot, but then it was kayfabe too, so it was just like what?
Yeah, they would start to attack the fans and kind of snap back a little bit. JBL had a few outbursts on there, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we got to reel it in." So
908's on the phone.
More of that outlandish, uncouth, edgy content they're looking to have.
908, hello. Hmm. 908's mic is not working.
Thought I heard him for a second.
I hear him like in the background, but it's not working. Your mic is low as hell. 330, hello.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you guys doing?
What's up, man?
So if SmackDown, if SmackDown keeps getting their ratings, if their ratings keep dropping, which is most likely it's going to happen, do you guys think that and then completely take the whole show over?
Are you saying? Wait a minute, I missed it because you broke up a little bit. You saying would Fox take the show over? Who would take the show over?
Yeah, what do you think Fox would just completely take over SmackDown? Change the rating, change PG to TV 14 again, maybe.
Well, no,
or something like that.
So Fox is prepared to be it won't be good if they start hitting the 2 millions and the 1.9 million and stuff like that. But Fox is prepared for it. They it wouldn't really shock Fox out of their boots. They would kind of just be like, okay. They really would. It really wouldn't affect them as much as you think. They'll still be pretty happy. You know what I mean? They don't. It's not as crazy as people would think. I would think that too, but they will be a little bit disappointed. Something may happen if it starts to get to be really low. But they're also kind of. I don't think they're that worried. To be honest.
Yeah, and I don't think they can cancel. I know they have a chance to re-up after a year, but they have a set time frame too where WWE is protected. Remember we discussed that a while back. I think Fox has a lot more input and say than we believe possible right now. Like you had kind of started to spell out too, Joe, the other day, with the update you had posted with Bruce Pritchard obviously taking over the reins for SmackDown. Even then, I think he's just there in name only. Even though they say he's running it, I still think that it really is Fox handling things, and Bruce Pritchard is just going to be that scapegoat. I think that Bischoff.
Wait, so you think that now Pritchard is a scapegoat for the scapegoat?
Essentially, I don't think Bruce is going to have as much power as people think. I think Fox is going to have more say-so. But instead of saying Fox is running things, WWE is just going to say, "Oh, Bruce Pritchard's now in charge" instead of Bischoff.
Well, what I understand was
that's my
Fox has an input that the USA Network doesn't quite have. The USA Network once in a while says "Hey, what's up with this and that?" But pretty much USA Network just lets WWE do whatever. Fox has a few ideas. So when the idea was that Eric Bischoff would work with the writing team, know what the writing team was doing, know what WWE was doing, know what Vince wanted to do, and then he would also be meeting with the Fox executives. And so if the Fox executives said, we really think that Bray Wyatt character has been working out really well. Like, can we can they make sure that he's on TV every week like a normal character would be? And, Eric Bischoff's job was to be like, okay, let me write that down. And so they like that. So he can go back to the meeting of Vince and everybody else and say, Vince, Fox is saying, they want Bray Wyatt every week here. Vince, Fox is saying that ratings went up when we had that hardcore match. And they were like, could we do more of that? Or could we, whatever. Fox is saying that they'd like to see Stone Cold come back or whatever. Could we do that? And so his job was to be in the middle and doing that.
The middleman.
However, apparently he was just kind of lingering in the background, and Bruce Pritchard was doing all of that.
Yeah.
So Eric Bischoff was like a full scapegoat to the point where Dave Meltzer reports that his interactions with his sources and people that he talks to, which he does, said that they have no idea what he's doing there. So,
yeah, we've heard that before. Like he really had no value. So.
But to me, it was very simple. There's a fucking 1 hour meeting once a week with Fox. Eric Bischoff probably went to that, probably came back and said, "Yeah, Fox said good job," and they were wondering about this and that, and that's about it. And then after that, he had nothing to do. That's what he was doing. I mean, probably. That's why people were like, "Oh, I don't see what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing." Yeah, because he probably just had that quick little fucking interaction, and then that was about it. And, the ball hasn't really gotten rolling yet, but I'm sure if you talk a month later, if ratings were drop, Fox might start saying something like, hey, what happened to the ratings? Like, is it because of this? We think it's because of that. And that's, if the ratings start to drop, that's the more you're going to hear from Fox. The ratings start going up, Fox is going to say, hell yeah, do whatever you're doing. This is great. 908's on the phone. Hello.
Yeah, sorry about before, guys. What's up? It is Jacob, man.
What's up, Jacob?
What's up, guys?
What's up, baby?
Sorry about before, Joe.
Your mic wasn't connected?
No, yeah, I'm a fucking dumbass. You know me. Thank you for taking my call again. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm pretty good. I'm better now.
Some of these fucking Mongoloid callers don't even say hi, so I just wanted to, listen.
I love you.
You guys, earlier I was in the chat. I had said that I miss Eddie Guerrero. I miss Chris Benoit pre-suicide double murder. I miss how wrestling used to be, because wrestling today is ass, dude. I don't like this vibe that wrestling is giving us. And I also wanted to bring this into another point, Vince. This whole thing just leads to Vince. Do you think that for some reason, Vince doesn't have a boss, but he does have people that he does have to listen to, all these.
He's still got a board of directors.
He does have, people he has to be careful with. He can't just be Vince, because apparently before it was all Vince, but now after all these years, it's like he has all these people in his fucking ear. But also, I think, in my opinion, Vince, I think he's just having fun with it, dude. I don't think he's taking this shit serious anymore. He's old. He looks old. He fucking sounds old. He's just having fun with this shit. I don't think he's actually obviously, this is all obvious. We all know this. But I'm just saying, Vince is not Vince no more, and that's a fact. But it's this wrestling today is trash. I don't like how Joe has sounded all fucking night. That's not Joe. That's what wrestling does to Joe sometimes. I hate this fucking wrestling. This shit makes me feel just how Joe feels. I felt like that for the past 5 months about wrestling. That's basically all I wanted to say. It wasn't really a question.
But I feel great though. I mean, I really don't feel that.
No,
down.
I know. I'm not saying, I just, it does bring you down sometimes. This WWE crap,
Oh, Raw and SmackDown do, yeah, no doubt.
Come on, yeah, I meant that.
But I'm coming up.
Thing. I mean,
I'm coming off a high.
Passionate because we care. I mean, but obviously, if you didn't care about it, you wouldn't be involved in it at all. But it does get to you.
Do you think having grandchildren changed them?
No,
because kids do change people. Kids change people.
I don't think it affected anything in that.
I mean, Vince has a soft spot, but he's not. But he's still very stubborn about what he wants to do. And when it comes to this business, he might have more of a, I think Vince has more of a soft spot personally for people, but I don't think it's really changed too much of what you're seeing on the product. But if anything, it's reinforced the whole, like, we got to be PG. You know, we got to be as PG as possible. We got to try to remain family friendly. But we've also seen him say the F-bomb. We've seen them crack open Randy Orton's head. Like, all these different things and what they did the other day. So it's like they're willing to still do that. And this is still the same guy who did the Attitude Era stuff. But, yeah, he's just not. It's just they don't care. It feels like they're just, like, there's nothing that important. Like, we're not going to lose the company if we just cruise control to where we're going. And that's all. There's nothing to drive them. There's nothing driving Vince.
It just feels to me like they just all grew up. It's like we all used to be kids and they all grew up.
Well, but
now
I mean,
it's all boring.
In the Attitude Era,
you know,
Vince was fucking 48 in the Attitude Era. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but mentally
50.
he was fucking rock and roll, baby. He was it, baby. But now he's like an old dad who just sits there and just jokes about farts and poop and.
Oh man, I mean, I don't, I don't know. I'd love to be behind the stage and see what Vince is saying to certain things. That would be an amazing thing. Like, I don't think I almost think that WWE should do that. Like, give us, imagine that uncensored Vince McMahon, and they allow cameras backstage for 3 episodes of Raw, and they put it together with all of the things he says before, after, and during. Wow, that would be so fun. Dude, I would pay, like, if, like, I this is crazy. I mean, people would pay hundreds of dollars to hear that, like, because nobody knows unless you're there. You don't know, like, what he's thinking and saying, other than sometimes we do see clips of Vince. But yeah, like, it would be really cool to see that. Like, we've seen him hug Kevin Owens and hug people in the back, We kind of saw the one, remember when he was mad at Owens, we saw the one where Owens was like, you didn't think that was good or that wasn't good? And Vince was like, that wasn't what we needed or whatever. And then that was all he said, but there was no, all the other things he said we missed. That would have been interesting. But, yeah, I mean, in him and Jericho, yeah, they didn't have a very good match, really. They had an okay match. It was an okay match. But, they also got screwed. Like, Vince, people, it really interfered with that rivalry back then, and they could have done a better job of presenting everything they did.
Hell yeah!
Marty lost the #1 contender world title match this week to someone in his stable. It was a given if he lost, he's gone from Ring of Honor. Probably gonna do a beatdown angle to send him off on TV any show now. Rumor I heard is he may be NXT.
Wow. Deftones, thank you, Deftones. And he might be, because here's the thing. If AEW is like, here's $150,000 a year, Marty, and NXT is like, here's $500,000.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. You go to NXT.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. The bubbly.
Imagine if Bobby Lashley had Damian Priest voice.
Yeah, imagine if Lashley had like a manly, insane voice and he was like, you want some of this? You want some of Bobby Lashley? Come and get me. Instead of being like, hey, Rusev, I got your wife. I'm in your bed. Like, what the fuck? You sound like a pedo. New Jersey, Jesus Christ. San Jose Sharks referees. How you doing, San Jose Sharks referees?
Basketball dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers.
Oh, my God.
I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
God damn it.
A JCS monetize this mid-card title belt would be more entertaining than anything WWE puts.
I know, man.
On just my thought, lol face with tears of joy, beaming face with smiling eyes.
We might have to do a mid-card title until we get to monetize this championship back, to be honest. So that might not be a bad idea. Nate from VA, thank you for the $10. You can only watch Infowars.com on your phone now because we got banned off YouTube. They banned everybody. What the fuck are they doing to all of us? Infowars.com. Sorry, Nate from VA, thank you for the $10. Much appreciated. Now, let's go to a call from the 910. 910's on the phone. Hello. Shit bum. Shit.
Last Thursday I sent a 5 shit bump donation letting you know I hurt my rotator cuff at work.
Oh, shit.
Is much better now but dropped a piece of wood on my foot this week. It hit above my steel toe. Super bruised now. Love the content, bro. The laughs help.
As always, Jason Tarr, you are a beast. And as always, if I have to suck you off, I will. Thank you, Jason Tarr. Much appreciated. And thank you for becoming a $5 shitbum, Jason Tarr. You are much appreciated. And we will we'll be back in 30 seconds. In about a minute.
See Scrolls or the Necronomicon, but if a few of these chapters influence your life in a positive way and help you become a happier person, then both of us will have gained something. This is my motivational book. There are many motivational books like it, but this one is mine. My motivational book is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I master my life. Without me, my motivational book is useless, and without my motivational book, I am useless. You dig? All right, enough of my yakking. It's time to turn the page, and I ain't talking about Bob Seger, and get started. Let's boogie.
What you just heard was Chris Jericho reading his own book to you guys. I know, it's called No is a 4-letter word. And if you're lost in your life right now, or you're having trouble, or you have those little stumbles, or maybe you're in a really deep, dark depression, or maybe you're doing pretty good and you just want to hear a pretty cool story from a guy like Chris Jericho, who's a damn legend in the world of wrestling, music, and so much more. Well, then of course, I want to give you that book. In fact, I want to give you that book for free. Because if you go to audibletrial.com/JCS right now, you guys will get a free audiobook. And I want you to hear Chris Jericho's audiobook because I've heard it and it's friggin' awesome. I mean, like, dude, the book is read by Jericho. It's sick. You're going to love it. You're going to love a free audiobook. Go take it. When you get a free audiobook, you help the Joe Cronin Show out. And we help you out because you get a free audiobook. And Audible helps us out by letting you have something for free to try their product.
A free
it's
audiobook!
Free. 30-day trial from Audible. Just go to audibletrial.com/JCS. It's for you guys, the Joe Cronin Show listeners, courtesy of Audible. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it because it took me, I want to say it took me about 3 months to get through it because I was that slow in listening to it with all the other stuff I listened to. But I became accustomed to it, and I actually became angry when it was over because I was like, oh, there's another one after this. And I'm like, no, this is his latest book. There isn't another book after this. And I'm like, God damn it. And now I'm mad because I want more Jericho. So then what happened is I started listening to his podcast because of it, which is great. But it's just it's different. They're both really good. But the book, I just wish there was a sequel to it already.
Your best and do it right. Halloween, the chance. Mike DeMoon is one of the coolest characters in cinematic history. And if you don't agree with him, you don't know Jack.
I think my favorite part about audibletrial.com and getting the, the free trial using the JCS link, audibletrial.com/JCS, is Jericho... When he fucks up a word but doesn't realize it, and he's reading his own book, like he's reading his own book and he fucks up his own words, like he fucks up his own book. He'll be like, and that's about when I realized that what I was gonna do is I was gonna write 3 letters to the WWE. So I wrote one to Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon, and I'm like, did he just say wart? I think he just said wart, and then I don't know, but it was left in. It was amazing. No, I'm just kidding. He really didn't fuck up much at all. He did a really good job. Audiobooks are tough to do. I do a lot of, as you know, once in a while I take an audio gig for work. I do audio things. I try to do voiceover acting and things like that. And it's like, dude, like I have done an audiobook before, and it's fucking enraging. Like you're sitting here with like a giant fucking with like 900 pages. You're like, okay, there's 900 pages to this book, and they're filled with words, and you're like, As Carolyn walked into the next room, she realized... Oh, God, that wasn't good. Go back. All right. As Carolyn walked into the next room, she realized a monster was waiting for her underneath the table. Oh my, a monster. I mean, oh my... Oh, fuck. Do it again. Okay, do it again. Oh my, she screams. A monster was under the table. The entire... and, like, you just keep fucking up, and you're like, fuck! And you go back, and you... Just fucking Christ, dude. You have to... It's almost like when you're doing an audible book or an audio book, you have to be like, all right, I'm only going to do, like fucking 10 pages a day. But then if you do 10 pages a day, then it takes forever to get it done. And they'll be like, yeah, we need it done in the next couple months, or a couple weeks. whatever. And I'm like, man, how the fuck do these people do this? Like, because like there's some really good ones. Like, I'm not a very good one. I'm like okay, and some people hire me and it's cheap. I work pretty cheap because I suck, but it's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of goddamn work. 10 pages a day. That's 10 times 20. Like, that's 4,000. That's a lot. So you can get it done. Because there's probably about 900 pages in the one I did last time. So 5 pages a day for 20 days. That's 100. So it's like you have to do like 20. But it's just like, man, you just keep fucking up, and it's kind of hilarious. And like Leah would come down and be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, that the bang, the fire rang out as Captain Jones ran to the gatekeeper, or whatever, however they want it read, the book read or whatever. And then I'll just be like, "Oh, fuck, no!" Like, and then Leah's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" from upstairs. And then I'm like, "No!" I prefer the short commercial reads, like where it's like, a cup of coffee a day is great, but a cup of Folgers coffee a day. Like, it's like, I like those because it's like, that's it. Then you throw some music on it, then you make the cuts, then you send it in, boom, you get $200. Meanwhile, if you're reading the fucking Audible book, it's like you might get $50, and then you're counting on sales to get paid. So you do like fucking tons of work. It's a pain in the ass. You want to strangle somebody. And if the book doesn't sell, you don't see much money at all. But if you get a commercial gig, at least I'm going to get $200, $300, $400 or more for reading this shit. That's only like 2 sentences. So yeah, commercials are much better. Anybody out there that's trying to get into that bullshit. Anyway, Jake, anything else that you had? There's a couple things more to get to, and then we'll take more calls.
Yeah, it's just that, as I was saying before, they're playing tug of war with the Fiend, obviously. And one of the points I forgot to mention earlier is that Wyatt is not scheduled to be at SmackDown November 15th or 29th. That's in Philly and Birmingham. But he is going to be at Raw those weeks. He's going to be at Raw all through November. So he's going to be at 3 of the SmackDown tapings, the live shows.
So what show is he on? What the fuck?
Exactly.
Oh, 910's on the phone. Hello. 910, hello.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Sorry. I'm a boomer with these phones. I'm really sorry for hanging up first time.
It's all good, man.
So about Vince McMahon earlier, I think he went PG because he always wanted to be PG, right? And so the ratings were going down, and there was no competition, so he went PG. And also, Orange Cassidy, little kid, pinned Cody Rhodes. Do you see that?
Wait, Orange Cat? Oh yeah, the little kid, the Clementine Cassidy or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that the video of that. He pinned Cody. They brought him in the ring. It was pretty cool.
All right, that's all I wanted to say, man.
Oh, okay.
Have a good show.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Appreciate it. We didn't talk about that at all yet. It looks like the AEW dark match this week isn't going to be as good as last week, obviously.
No.
But I mean, what's going to beat that, dude? What is going to beat Kenny Omega and Joey Janela? Like, I don't think anything is going to beat that. It's going to be tough.
They'll surprise us. AEW did rename their backstage position of honor of Dusty Rhodes. I thought that was cool. Instead of being, Gorilla or Go, it's now the Dusty position, and they have a a nice little like plaque to him that they hang right there with his
thank God
authentic cowbell.
Thank God they stopped calling it Gorilla, dude. It cringes me out when other people call it Gorilla. They're like, I was in Gorilla. It's like, dude, you're not in WWE. Like, I'm not joking about this. Independent wrestling companies call it that.
They were calling it the Go position, but
I was at a recent show where I was calling wrestling, and they were like, well, you got to head back. He's in Gorilla. And I was like, and this was like the owners and the people in the back and like all the main people. And I'm like, you fucking marks. Like, fucking, this isn't the Gorilla position. Like, this is fucking, it's not fucking called that. Like, that's the WWE. They named it in honor of Gorilla Monsoon. That makes sense. Gorilla Monsoon, like, I mean, I get it. It's nice. Like, okay, we're honoring Gorilla Monsoon here too. But it's not about that. I don't think it's about honoring Gorilla. So that's what pisses me off. I think it's about them being like, we're cool because we're in Gorilla. No, you're not. You're at a fucking indie show, and you're back in the fucking backstage. That's where you're at. You're backstage. There's nowhere else. There's the backstage, locker room, and that's it. It's not an arena where you set up a gorilla position, like, or where you set up a go position or whatever position you want to call it. Just fucking, I don't know. It's just hilarious. I've heard it multiple times at multiple indie shows, and like, there's like a tent out back, and they're like, "Oh, he's over in Gorilla." No, he's not. You fucking Mark. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I get it, but it's just weird to me. Like, I'm like, that's fucking the WWE, man. It's not Gorilla.
You know,
come up with a different name.
How
about it's backstage. I mean, unless you want to name it after somebody, he's backstage. He's backstage. He's on the monitors. He's in the back. He's producing. He's whatever the fuck. It ain't Gorilla position. God damn it.
Reading John Moxley's interviews transcribed, when they type out what they say in interviews, always makes me laugh with him because he's worse than I am with ums and yeahs. So Screen Geek went ahead and asked Moxley about his wife. Would she? They posed the question about would she ever be interested in joining AEW, and his answer basically is, to short and sweet, no. She's got a lot on her plate right now. She's busy. But his real answer is, she's got a lot of stuff on her plate, a lot of things she wants to do. I mean, you'd have to, ask her about her goals and aspirations are. But
what the hell?
Right now, she's just when you read it, that's what it's written out as.
Wow.
She's got a lot of great opportunities with Fox, and which is great for her. And her, her future is in her hands. She can do whatever she wants, and she's
man. I'll tell you what. When he doesn't want to talk, he's the worst talker.
He really is.
When fucking Moxley wants to talk, he's great. But when he doesn't want to talk, he's like a fucking idiot. He's like fucking.
Yeah, he has to be in promo mode in order to be
I don't
understood.
Know, whoa. You know what I see? You know what Triple H is gonna do? They're gonna unveil on NXT. He's gonna go the Shooter McGavin route. He's gonna be like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT. We have a special and a huge announcement to begin NXT, and they advertise that all week. And we're going to start 10 minutes early, so the show's actually going to start at 7:50 on USA Network. A special beginning to NXT, and Triple H is in the commercial like, join me for a special opening to NXT Wednesday night. Like, and the people are like, what does that mean? What's going to happen? They start the night. Triple H goes, a lot of talent in our business would go through our creative, blah, blah. Then he goes, one of the biggest, obviously, influences on many of our current WWE superstars and NXT superstars' careers was the legendary Dusty Rhodes. Therefore, on the WWE main roster, in the back, we have something we call the Gorilla position, named after Gorilla Monsoon. Here in NXT, Dusty Rhodes was one of the pivotal... And they just go, I'd like to announce that our backstage area will be called like the road to the dream or something, like, like, and he fucking names it after Dusty Rhodes.
And Voltaire said, why would they write that in the transcript? I don't quite know either, but they, they did.
I'd write the whole
so
fucking
it's just,
thing.
but every time you see them transcribe anything from him on any of the wrestling sites, it's just,
they're
magic.
Gonna fucking name
it's just magic.
They're gonna rename Gorilla in NXT fucking Dusty's Den.
They'll do it now.
Oh god, dude, I'm fucking rolling right now, dude. Fucking Dusty's Den or something like that, or Dusty's back, whatever, dude. I'm telling you, dude.
We got the Dusty position, but this is Dusty's Den.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're gonna name that fucking area after Dusty Rhodes. Like,
yeah, now because
I swear to God,
they did that for Cody.
But they'll call it Rhodes fucking something. Rhodes Road.
Yeah,
Rhodes Row. Rhodes Row. I swear to God, man. It's going to be called Rhodes Row. And Cody doesn't want to be called Rhodes really anymore. Cody wants to be Cody because he wants to get away from the Rhodes name, kind of. So
they'll do the yellow brick roads, like something.
Oh my God!
I get them doing that but the thing is, I mean, they already have the Dusty Classic and stuff. So, but he was so intertwined in NXT that it's like, yeah, the Dusty Hole.
Oh my God, dude! I can so see it.
Oh, the thing is, too, is in a way, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense because he really was so beneficial and a real staple, a pillar to the NXT community for so long.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they would do it just out of spite, it feels like.
I'd like to welcome... We brought up Vince McMahon. Welcome to NXT. I'd like to welcome you, and I'd like to unveil Rhodes. My God! Oh my God! It's amazing. He's just a common man.
Hard times, baby. Hard times. Yeah, fade it back. We're taking it back to the dream position.
The dream position. Oh God, that would be so fucked up. But they would do it.
The moolah position.
They would do it. They would do it. Yeah, the moolah position is like whipping some girl who's not white. So let me get your
ass back to work.
Let me play this. Here, I have a gripe with AEW. Why can't AEW NXT it's too much like here comes another match. Here comes another match. Here comes another match. Here comes another match. It's 2 hours of here comes another match. Here comes another match. Like there's too many matches. There needs to be more charisma and creativity and some more fun going on. They don't have that. Even though AEW feels like a bigger world and can do no wrong for the most part there, they need to have more promos and more entertaining things as well. I believe it about both companies. But look at this. Why in the world is this not on TV?
Hey, Maxwell, do you mind if I get a second?
Oh, boy. Look, sweetheart, I've been through the song and dance before, okay? I don't know what I did to you, but I'm willing to pay for it. So what are we talking here?
No. I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Are you going to pretend you don't need my money with that outfit on?
Oh, boy. Anyways, a lot of people were nervous that you were going to turn on Cody last week. What was that about?
I guess a lot of people are just really dumb, Jen. Oh, yeah, you know what I want to do? Let me join the inner circle jerk. Yippee. Oh, let me get the opportunity to hang out with Jake Hager. What a charismatic fellow. Matter of fact, I'm going to pretend to be Jake, okay? Ask me how I'm doing.
Hi, Jake. How are you doing?
Wow, what a riveting conversationalist. I'd rather... Next question.
All right, well, there's obviously a title match tonight between Chris Jericho and Darby Allin. Do you have a preference, or do you have a favorite in this fight?
Look, obviously I don't like Chris Jericho because he hurt my best friend, Cody Rhodes. Matter of fact, I hate Midlife Crisis Chris. But I also hate that emo, skater, nerd Darby Allin. So no, I have the opposite of a favorite in this match. I hate both of these people. However, I will be watching the two of them beat the ever-loving crap out of each other, live on TNT with a smile on my face. Peace out, boobs.
Peace out, boobs. Oh my God, that's so fucking good.
What's this, ready?
That's a new donation. Peace out, boobs.
It's Jen.
Yeah, whatever.
By the way, better announcer in the backstage for TNT AEW than WWE. And listen,
she was great.
I love MJF because he does remind me of me. If he was somehow as funny as me, so he reminds me of me. But if I was less funny and my eyes were closer together, a little too close together, and I was shorter. If I was shorter, my eyes were really close together, and I was less funny, yes, I would be MJF, no doubt about it. I really appreciate MJF for that. Good job. And that's why I like MJF, because he's almost Joe Cronin, so that's really good. And he entertains me, man, except for his eyes being really close to each other and him being shorter than me and being less funny than me. But other than that,
he's
what
got
a
the
sign.
most charisma.
He's
really
got
so much damn charisma. He's only 23.
Yeah.
He's got it. He's got the look. He's got the feel. He's still acting like a heel, even though he made this great face save the week before.
Right.
He's just able to dominate any conversation that he's in. He draws your attention. I knew as soon as, that first, the Double or Nothing, when he came out just speaking on the mic, interrupting the title presentation, I was like, damn, he is going to be just a top star. And he is not disappointed. Everything he's done, every interview that he's done, it's must-see with him. He's never not in character, and
great.
He's just fantastic. I really enjoy him. So He was funny in CZW, but
and he's got guys acting like chicks, man. They're like marking out everywhere. They're just like MJF walks by some dude the other day, and somebody tweeted us this, and MJF flipped his hat off of him and kept walking. The fucking guy, and it's mostly guys. Unfortunately for you AEW guys, wrestlers, sorry guys, there's not a ton of chicks like lining up at these shows. It's
doesn't seem to be.
It's very small.
If there are, most seem to look like me, but you know.
But he whacks the hat off of this guy, and the guy's like, "Oh my god!" And then MJF keeps walking, and he's like, "Fuck you," you know. And the kid's like, "Oh my god!" And then somebody's like, "I got it. I'll send it to you. Will you send it to me? Oh, I got it. Will you send it to me?" Bunch of fucking guys for a guy, dude. It was fucking hilarious. I'm like, this guy is killing
I'd mark
it.
out for sure.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. He's getting other dudes who are like older than him to mark out for him. It's like a 27-year-old dude who's like, "Oh my god, did you get that? Oh my god."
Bye, tits.
Not gay. Not gay guys are marking out for this guy like that.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I fucking...
All right.
He's badass.
All right, I guess he's the same height as me. All right, fine. Whatever.
Yeah, he's 5'11". So.
Still, his eyes are closer together.
Hung like a horse.
Strangely close together. Strangely close together. Like almost into his nose, if you want to say
That's to help his peripheral vision.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust anybody whose eyes are this close to each other.
He's always watching.
No, but I love MJF. He's fine. He's a good guy. He's just fucking... He hasn't even done anything yet in the company, really. I mean,
Tiffany's right. He did say as a 5-year-old on the Rosie O'Donnell show he was going to be a wrestler.
That's right. That's true. And I hate him. I said that in 1998. Nobody gave a fuck.
Well, you just weren't on the Rosie O'Donnell show. That's why. Then we would have cared.
I do have somebody's. I guess some people thought that. I guess they re-released the Stone Cold University shirt, and lots of people were like, "Oh God, that's pathetic," you know. I'm saying lots of people sent me this, and I thought they were sending it to me like, "Haha, SCU," and I'm like, "Yeah." I said that joke when SCU first came out. I was like, "SCU, like the old Stone Cold shirt," and now, but people actually think that they ripped off SCU, and I'm like, "No, that shirt's from 1998." Like, that's not a new shirt. That's from 1998. Now, are they bringing it back now because of that? That's funny. Maybe.
But they re-release their older shirts all the time.
Yeah, Here I am wearing that fucking shirt in 1998. It was out in 98. WWE did it first. SCU, class of 316. And by the way, I am telling somebody to suck it here. That's why I look awkward. I mean, I look awkward anyway, but I mean, it's like I'm telling somebody to suck it.
The class of 316. That was a fucking classic shirt.
Yeah, I still have it. I still have that shirt. It's got holes in it.
I wish I had most of my wrestling shirts. I don't have shit anymore.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things. You know what I have is, dude, this is amazing. In fact, it's at my other house, I think. It's at my mom's house. The original Stone Cold Smoking Skull, like the first one where he's like, not the original just white one, but like the one where he has like blue on the side and the smoke coming out of it, and then orange face on the other side. It was like probably the second or third Stone Cold thing when he was really hot. I have that sweatshirt, never worn, because I don't know why I didn't like a plain sweatshirt. I didn't like wearing them, so I never wore it. So I found it the other day, and it's like beautiful. Like, it looks pristine. And I'm like, wow, this is from 1998, and it's pristine. Crazy. And I never wore it. And I won't wear it now because it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Keep that together. And a few people I've seen have taken their wrestling shirts and had it turned into like a backdrop or a quilt, and it looks really cool. So
right.
Yay, happy hands.
You want some happy hands?
I'm laughing at Tiffany. She said you're part of the Happy Hands team.
Oh yeah,
with the way that picture looks.
Yeah, dude, I look fucking bizarre there. Yeah, it's very weird.
It's a great pose, but that's the problem. Mid suck it, you got to go full suck it.
Yeah, go full suck on it. Yeah, there was something else I wanted. Yeah, so we got that promo. I wanted to show people the promo of MJF because it was so good.
I'm so glad I didn't see that. That was
on my damn list of shit to talk about. I'm telling you, I had a whole list of stuff to talk about tonight that I planned out, that I wrote down, and then when the computer crashed, I lost all of it. And I had a well planned out. CM Punk on If He Watches AEW. Stop this. I don't give a shit if you watch. Stop making this news. I don't give a fuck what CM Punk watches or doesn't watch. I wish CM Punk would move to fucking China and we'd never hear from him again.
Yeah, fans are like, well, when are you coming back to wrestle? He's like, tweet me questions for my new movie. And fans are like, when are you coming back to wrestle? And he's like, not Wednesday. How about Tuesday? With like a little wink type thing. It's like, he's obviously not wrestling, guys. What are you not getting? Everything that could have passed already. It's not happening.
I honestly hate CM Punk now. I hate him. It's
not happening anymore.
But yeah, why? So go back to the promo though. Why can't they put that stuff on the air? Like, why can't we see this stuff? Like, can we not get 3 to 5 minutes aside for 1 or 2 promos during the show like that?
That's 2 minutes, and that would have worked perfect. They could have shaved some time off of a couple of the segments actually, and it would have worked perfect.
Right. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean that was literally perfect, and what, 2 minutes long?
Yeah, it was just 2 minutes. Why'd they do all that just for the website? Come on.
But there's got to be a way, because like you said, they need to break it up. So many people are having that problem right now. With NXT does it, WCW used to do it. You go match, and it makes it feel just like a total clusterfuck.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint right now. Is there's too much like, okay match, okay match, okay match, okay match, okay match. And it's like, then we're going to go to a pay-per-view where it's all okay match. It's all match. So it's match, and then match. Like, stop. Like, we need more than that. And I think AEW...
We like when the stories are told in matches, but there needs to be more before and after.
Yeah, I don't want just match stories. I want more than that.
Well, think about how long on Raw we weren't getting any wrestling. It was all just talking and promo and stupid skits and vignettes and build-up. And then we finally, we started to get, all right, we got this good match, and all right, we have this gauntlet match here. And we have, this tournament going on, the King of the Ring, so it's like, all right, we got some really good moments, of matches here and there. But unfortunately, just their promos aren't great, or their matches aren't great. We'll either get a night of really good wrestling and all shit, everything else, or vice versa. They just can't help but shoot themselves in the foot there. But
yeah,
you're absolutely right. They need to separate it up more, because without it, you're getting lost in the shuffle. Nothing feels special, and everything feels rushed.
I think that's about everything I wanted to cover. I think Luchasaurus...
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to ask you is it's been a long time, since, if you think about it right now, since Seth was heel.
Yeah.
It's been a real long time. I mean, obviously, okay, Roman's never been heel. Yeah, we don't see him getting turned. We're giving up on that like Cena at this point. But Rollins, this feels like a real perfect time.
It feels like it feels like they are doing it. Like, it feels like the burning.
But everything I've heard is that they have no intention on turning him heel whatsoever. I've seen so many articles, reasons why he must turn heel, and how to turn him heel, and what to do for his heel turn. But every report and insider bit of information I've seen from the Meltzers onwards,
they're putting out fake info, because they're clearly trying to turn Seth the other day by having him hit him with a hammer and all this stuff. And then now he burnt down the Firefly Funhouse. Whether they know it or not, I mean, they're certainly making Bray more a face.
Because Bray wasn't hitting him, he wasn't attacking, he wasn't even defending himself. And then he looked at Seth so serious. Why are you doing this to me? What And he was so devastated that he was attacking him. He couldn't understand it, and that's why it's great to have the difference between those two characters, the Fiend and Bray Wyatt, obviously. I wish he didn't go in the Funhouse, though, because I like the idea of it being somewhere else. Like, it wasn't backstage, next to catering the whole time. I like the idea of it, being in its own world, per se. It doesn't mean it has to be like this alien thing off Earth, but it was a set location. It was the same place every time. It was, Mr. Rogers, is always in his house. It was stationed, it was staying put. I didn't like the idea that, it's just a piece of set. It's just traveling furniture. So it's silly now that it's just backstage this whole time. It ruins more of the magic that he had to it. I like, because why is there a door there if it's just a piece of set? Why is there?
Yeah,
it makes it feel. How did Seth get there? And I know Bray tried to address it on Twitter and said, "How did you find it?" And still, you're ruining things that don't need to be ruined.
Yeah, to me, I just don't. I don't know, man. I don't feel like I care that much anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Seth he was last, heel, obviously 2014 when he destroyed the Shield, and he was Triple H's Plan B. And then, obviously, when he had the title, he got injured with Kane, came back as a heel when he should have been face, and then slowly morphed into the, the Kingslayer when he took on Triple H at WrestleMania. What was that, 33, I believe?
Yeah.
That was that unsanctioned match. And he got the crowd behind him there. It built over time, but I don't know. It just, like I said, it feels like the time, but I don't think they're going to do it. He needs a refresh. He needs a redo. And now that they have the, this draft, even though it sucks,
what a
happening,
waste of time.
Yeah.
And
this really is the best time for them to capitalize on this whole thing.
On what thing? What are you talking about?
With him burning down the funhouse, and this is a chance to turn him heel. If you're going to do it now, seems like the best time to do it.
Yeah, God, it's doing this show tonight. Like, I can tell how bad WWE is, because whenever you bring up WWE, I want to kill myself. Like, that's, I mean, really, like, that's how bad it is. That's how bad WWE is. Everything about WWE, I don't even care. Like, I don't, because they've given me nothing to talk about at this point. Right now, there's nothing really to talk about. The only thing to talk about is how bad they are, but what's the reasons? We already talked about them all a million times. They're obvious. So there's nothing to say about WWE. What are they going to do tomorrow night? I mean, probably not a lot, and whatever. Yeah. It's just so depressing. AEW,
I don't even know if we'll get a follow-up, and The Fiend's on SmackDown, but I doubt we'll even get a follow-up.
I just don't care. I hope the plane goes down. Like,
Matt says that the Funhouse being burnt down was a Fox thing. They don't want the Funhouse on Fox. I don't know where you heard that, though, because they're both vying to have Bray on both shows. So I don't believe that.
I don't believe anything anymore, because everything we've believed is not true unless it's like a leak of a match. That seems to always be true. But
yeah, anytime an arena says this is happening to sell tickets, that seems to be the truth. That's right. Why it was the arena that leaked the cage match between Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins at Raw's main event. So
Nate from VA is the largest donation of the stream at the $50 mark, taking home that digital championship probably tonight. I don't know where my Xbox controller is. I was planning on playing some, but looks like I won't be tonight because I can't find my Xbox controller, and somebody took it from in this room, and that's about how this is going.
Super Chat
Dino
Party.
Babysaurus Marco stunt gimmick incoming.
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of what happened the other night. They had a good match, pretty good match, but there was a lot of just botchery, and
at least it wasn't a squash. But
yeah, I'm not a fan of much that happened on AEW. I liked how it opened. I loved the way it opened, and then I thought everything else after that was pretty cool. But like, nothing crazy that I'd ever watch again. I'd rather go back and watch Janela and Omega again, have that match on AEW Dark. So. Yeah, I'd probably watch the other first and second Dynamite episodes too, but I don't know if I'd watch this one again, really. I mean, I'd probably watch Allen and Jericho again, now knowing that it's not going to be crazy, but...
Do a little basketball dance off the concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers.
Damn it.
I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Fucking face.
I told y'all by Survivor Series they would mess Bray Wyatt up, and by God they did it before.
Oh, wow.
Then SMH WWE knows how to mess up a wet dream.
I couldn't remember when you said that. I knew you said that at one point, but I heard a lot of people say it, but I didn't know you called Survivor Series. That's funny. Nate from VA, thanks again, man. $10, baby. It's all coming in. Someday we'll get that computer taken care of, man. Something's wrong. But yeah, that's I don't think Bray Wyatt's completely messed up yet, but it is damaged. This whole thing is definitely damaged, and it's going to be really important what they do next. But it seems like they're just going with the same old thing next, and that's not good. Savage, thank you for subscribing to the show. Welcome to the Joe Cronin Show. This is Out of Nowhere, episode 174. It'll be up in audio form, available for you on Patreon later, in audio form. And some of it will be up on iTunes as well. So, give it a hell yeah! Boom.
Feels like him chasing a high he'll never get while watching wrestling. Quite sad if you ask me. But anyhow. Gook gook. Gook.
Oh, God.
Gook.
Ni hao. Andale Peasy. Michael Byrne says it's because I was there. I don't think so. That's not true. Kenny Omega and Joey Janela.
No, I loved it, and I was not there. So
yeah, Jake wasn't there. Everybody agrees that match was the best thing of the last 3 weeks, and nobody was there. Super chat.
Is Bray Wyatt staying on SmackDown?
Nobody knows what the hell's going on right now. ADTR. I mean, he's supposed to be, but now they don't know. It feels like they don't really know.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
What did you think of WWE backstage? The big blockbuster trade they hyped up was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. WTF.
Yeah, I hate those guys over there, so I didn't watch it. Robert Heller, thank you, my friend.
I watched the recap version of it. I didn't get to see it live, and it wasn't a bad show. I mean, but nothing that I'm really overly interested in seeing. If there's anything greatly of importance, I'll catch the recap, but it's not something I'll be watching. Super chat.
It's bad I haven't watched WWE since AEW started. Person shrugging, medium dark skin tone.
Brother Keith TV, thanks, man. Yeah, I'll have to ask you about that in a minute after this next donation plays.
Super chat. WWE makes me irritated. Lol. Hashtag nerf one-eyed mask.
Yeah, I agree. They really fucking piss me off at this point. Yeah. So what happened on backstage? That Nikki and does that
they kept
matter?
saying they have this big trade. Everyone thought it was going to be the Fiend, and it just ended up being Alexa and Nikki.
Yeah, didn't they split them?
No, they're on SmackDown now.
Didn't somebody didn't they say tag teams go together, and then somebody picked one of them?
Originally they were going to be apart, but now they're both on SmackDown, I guess.
So they probably realized they're retarded. Oh, hey, listen, you can pick anybody you want. You can pick anybody you want, and tag teams count as one draft. So tag teams count as one draft. You can take anybody you want, and they count as one draft. So you get two people for one draft.
Or three in some cases,
right.
The OC and the New Day. And the New Day,
but you take one person?
You went from WWE champion. You went from WWE champion, headlining, many shows and being, the top guy to just the New Day.
But why would you take one? Why would you take one person from the group?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
You can have more than one.
Exactly. You're benefiting from taking multiple. So
I'm so confused.
As with everything, if you think it makes sense, it doesn't. And the only people that got split up that I see is Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Carmella and R-Truth.
Right.
And now they're saying that everyone feels the time is right for Carmella to take on Bayley for the championship because with her leaving R-Truth, it's that's what a lot of people are going with, and I was like, I hope that's not the case, but that bores the hell out of me. But I saw that article before. What's next for Carmella with R-Truth out of the picture?
Who cares?
Yeah, because they're saying, she's been a standout performer ever since she arrived in the main roster from NXT, and
she's been a sidekick fucking nitwit for the last 8 months.
She at the very end of her title reign had some good matches, but it took a while to get there, and the Ellsworth thing really held her back, and then she was just, like you said, a backup to R-Truth. So,
Sports Illustrated put out an article. WWE putting promotion over content has hurt the company a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean by promotion. Because you're supposed to promote, so I don't know what promotion they mean, but definitely their content sucks. WWE's content blows. Let me see. Chris Jericho says AEW is not at war with anybody. Yeah, that's true. We've heard that.
Yeah.
Marco Stunt addresses haters on his AEW performance. By the way, God, that cringed me out because I was listening to Marco Stunt on the podcast with Chris Van Vliet, and Marco Stunt admitted that he takes criticism very badly, very badly, really depressively.
I agreed with the article that you're bringing up. There were not all of it but some of the major points that Sports Illustrated had made sense there. You know, the author here says, from my perspective, it seems like one of the biggest issues is that the company is more focused on promotion and brand awareness than actual television product. You know, they were more worried about people knowing that they were going to Fox. Obviously, you need to have that, but then the show they had all this time to plan for, and it was shit. And he goes on to say how, you know, they're relying on a UFC guy and a boxer to draw a new audience. Wrestlers want to see, you know, wrestling fans want to see wrestlers. But now WWE is featuring Cain Velasquez and Tyson Fury in prominent roles. You know, the big Cain Velasquez debut and reveal on Fox premiere 2 weeks ago didn't help viewership at all, and that's the truth. It didn't get people to give a damn. It didn't keep people coming back the next week. They went down a whole million.
UFC calls you gay, just so you know. UFC calls you gay. They don't care. And people here already know who Cain Velasquez is, and who cares?
He makes a great point saying, you know, we watch wrestling because it's not like every other sport. When they say they want to make it more sport-like, that's not what you want. You know, we don't care about, you know, the way they were trying to handle the trade and make it more, you know, as into, you know, the NFL draft and things like that. Ended up being a joke. It wasn't fun at all. It was just, it was a dud.
Yeah. I hate
so
that.
They make a lot of good points. So
863, hello.
Yo, Joe, what's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, quick question. This is King Smurf. Bro, we need a hardcore match, man. If WWE wants to do anything, we need hardcore matches, but it's proven. Like, it's just proven. Forget this rated teen, whatever. We need hardcore matches, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it would help them because if they can't go TV 14, they could still have hardcore matches, I guess, or something. But yeah, it won't help in the long run because they just need to do better. They need to do everything better. They need to have different type of matches. They need to have hardcore matches. They need to be TV 14 so they can say more things. They need to have different writers. They need to be less scripted. They need the commentary team to be less scripted. They need to stop with all the corporate BS stuff, the stale looks, the stale crap, all that. That's everything wrong with the WWE. Less scripted commentators, less scripted wrestlers, better storylines, better stories, less overproduced stuff. Too much stuff is overproduced. And camera shots are horrible. There's too many cuts. It looks like a movie. You miss wrestling moves, so it's not impactful for the viewer. You don't feel like you're there experiencing something that's a important match. Feels like you're just cut. Even AEW has felt a little too cutty with their camera work. So if AEW feels that way to me a little bit, God, what does WWE do to me? And they fucking do horrible things to me. I hate them. Raider Bud, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. Appreciate that. And just having hardcore matches won't bring anything back. Shane McMahon jumped off the top of Hell in the Cell through a table. What you have to have is matches that mean something. It doesn't matter how many weapons are in the match. As long as the match means something and feels good and fun and it was well done, that's what you need. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks had a good Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, that was hardcore. It was in the Hell in a Cell. But it wasn't that hardcore. It was just inventive and it was fun. But it still wasn't like a classic. But it was a really good match for nowadays. But, I can go back and watch, Randy Savage and Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8, and that match from the beginning to the end with all of the emotion in it is so fun. Nothing like that exists right now at all. There's no emotion. It's all robotic. Here's the match. Now we have match. Oh, now we do this. I am backstage with Samoa Joe at this time. Samoa Joe, what would you like to do after what happened last week? Well, I'll tell you, Renee, what I did was I took his head and I smashed his skull into pieces and I stared at it and laughed. And that's what I'll do to anybody. Super chat. Thank you very much.
WWE need a new champion. Seth sucks.
Yeah, Seth does suck. I mean, he really is a dork idiot right now. King Smurf, what up, dude? Seth Rollins is a dork fucking idiot. Problem is, Seth Rollins likes everything they do, so he's like, this is great, burn it down, I'm on the down. Vince McMahon needs someone to kick his fucking door in and smack him in the face and say, "What the fuck are you doing?" But nobody will do that. Everybody's a yes man, and let's go ahead and try to do that. Let's go ahead and try to do this. Bruce Pritchard is a yes man. He'll just be like, "Sure, Vince, what you want? He'll do this." He don't care. Paul Heyman will fight to the death for things, so every once in a while he'll get one of them. And that's about it. It's fucking, there's nobody else. Everybody else is just, please keep my job, please keep my job. Road Dogg tried. Every time Vince McMahon chopped his legs from underneath him when Road Dogg ran SmackDown, by the way, Road Dogg finally said, I tap out. This is crazy. I'm out. Road Dogg tapped out, got the fuck out of there, and is now in NXT where he can actually work on stuff where his ideas get used if they work out or are good, or he can try things. In SmackDown...
Burn it down, Joe!
Yeah, that's all he wants.
Burn it down, though.
This is
great.
great.
Road Dogg, burn it down.
That's why Seth's defensive, because he's happy he's on top. He's like, I'm on top. This is great. Oh, this sucks now. No, it doesn't suck. Like, because he's on top. He don't care.
It was a part of Degeneration X again. Suck it. Burn it down. Then I had a beer with Stone Cold. Burn it down.
It's why Adam Page in AEW is where he is. He reminds me of Seth. He's got the same thing. You know, he's very opinionated. He seems cocky to me, and I saw him interact with a fan the other day that was weird. So I am not a fan of Adam Hangman Page anymore. Unless I got something wrong. I know everybody has a bad day, but that guy just kind of seems like a cunt. But maybe he's not. Maybe he's a great guy. Maybe I'm a cunt. But that's, I don't know, man. Like, something about Seth, man. Just go be a bad guy again. I mean, he really is he's really given me the Bret Hart vibes from WrestleMania 12 to 13, where, you know, Bret Hart started being like, I deserve, and I'm the dickhead, and he's really going into that realm. And if they could have somebody that the fans love, that they want to get over as a face, right now it's time to put him against Seth, because Seth right now is developing heat that is very interesting, like very interesting in a way. And I just
he just feels like a douchebag. Yeah,
he feels like a douchebag. Yeah, I'm sorry. By the way, if you guys go back when the Shield was formed, I used to always be the one that picked Seth. I mean, I picked Dean a lot. Like, yeah, Dean's going to be the most well-rounded, I used to say. But I would say, like, but I think Seth is like the next, maybe Shawn Michaels or something. And he's not, and he wasn't, but I was like, ooh, Seth's my favorite. I would always say that, and he was the quietest. But now, God, he annoys the shit out of me now. I don't know what it is, but he fucking annoys the shit out of me.
Simo says we're just haters. Seth burns it down.
You want me to burn it down? And fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Kill him anyway, John. Yeah.
Seth is burning down the promotion, all right. BCW Productions in the chat. I burnt down this whole fucking company. You want to see me burn down this company? Watch! Remember when Seth Rollins sings all the wrestlers' wrestling themes?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That was so
that
good.
shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have nothing else to say. I think I'm done. I'm tired, I think we're done.
WWE has killed our spirits.
WWE,
we
I
used to
hate
argue at one
this.
point in time, being like, "No, this one's better. No, this one's better." Well, I like my guy because I think now it's like, this one sucks. No, this one really sucks.
They all just suck ass. I don't know. You all. That's why when people are like WWE is the best talent they've ever had. No, they don't.
I
Shut
said
the
that at one
fuck
point
up.
in time too. They had so much talent, and then they proved us wrong with that too.
Yo, Triple M, what's up? What the fuck?
Fucking up on me, man.
I hear that.
Sounds like you just unzipped a body bag and stuffed a fucking steel rod up your ass.
Stuffed it down a toilet. Yeah.
I swear, as soon as I call in a car, fucking comes to my workplace, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Oh my gosh.
Every time. You'll have no one in the store for an hour. As soon as you pick up the phone, you get a line of people.
You gotta keep talking. Give me a minute. If you gotta hang me up, it's all right.
Sure.
It's always how it works.
Yeah, it's
At least you got monetized
I hate
tomorrow.
when you start. I just hate WWE. I right now I hate it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing really to talk about. When you bring it up, I just want to go to bed. It sucks. It's nothing to
I
talk
try and
about.
keep up with the news on both sides, and that's the thing. And it's like but there's nothing compelling. There's nothing exciting. Crown Jewel is ruining the fun of everything.
Oh God, I
that could
hate
possibly
Crown
be
Jewel.
Enjoyable.
Fuck you, Saudi Arabia. You know what? I was happy before. I used to be like, it's nice to see the families in Saudi Arabia get to experience WWE. The kids look happy, everything. Fuck you. I fucking hate you. Fuck you, Saudi Arabia. Fuck Crown Jewel. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
AEW has all this news and rumors and all this stuff. And yesterday, the only thing out for WWE was that Andrade likes Andrade likes Charlotte without makeup. That was the top news story.
Hope Andrade falls down an escalator fucking shaft.
For 12 hours, that was the top news story. Andrade likes Charlotte without makeup. Because you need the makeup to see where her eyes are. The rest of the plastic just confuses you.
Oh, God. Dude.
Sasha, possible spoiler on her changing up her look soon. She's going to take out the blue weave and put in the purple weave again. Ooh. It's like,
I hate
who gives a
WWE.
shit?
I hate you, WWE. I hate you. I hate you. I got nothing else to say. Let's get the fuck out of here. You've murdered me with WWE, Jake.
I've broken your spirit.
There's nothing else. I had something else, but I can't remember it now. I think AEW and NXT took a little bit of a dip this week, like in quality anyway. So I'm sure the ratings went down too. Next week the ratings will go down for both. I think AEW will just sneak above 1 million again. I think they'll manage to stay above 1 million again. That's a bold thing to say.
I think that's their safe spot right now.
Well, I think eventually it will be just over 800,000 if they keep this up.
We'll see.
But if they start doing some crazier stuff, you may see it go up. And I think if that street fight had been a fucking hardcore match or a street fight, it might have led to something. Instead, they went with traditional classic storytelling, and that was it. And according to Bully Ray, it's because maybe they didn't want ECW chants, which they had anyway, and then they had CZW chants. So who gives a shit? But for me, I think they missed an opportunity to really say, like, Philadelphia, let's go. Tables, let's do it. Instead, they did that. They had the feel-good moment with the kid in the audience, and just wasn't. I think everybody loved it in Philly. Still, everybody loved it. I liked it, no problem. Not really complaining that much, but I'm saying I think it's a missed opportunity. I think the fact of the matter is, more people would watch next week had you done a hardcore actual street fight in that match last night. So, what is it? Are you going to get a little boo-boo because people chanted ECW? Or do you want more people watching? What is it? That's what I would ask Bully Ray and what I would ask anybody else. Would you rather that you get an extra 100,000, 500,000, 200,000, whatever it is, 80,000? Would you rather extra people watch, more people be interested in watching? Or would you rather them play it safe so that they don't get a little boo-boo over ECW chant? Which one is it? And to me, they missed an opportunity. Even though I love them, they missed an opportunity. And I can't fucking stress that enough. This is Out of Nowhere, episode 174. Jake DeMarco's at Countdown Ended. I'm at Corrupted Pod on Twitter. And I am the fuck out of here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the donations, guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the calls. We'll get to more tomorrow. I don't know what happened. We had like 4 or 5 people I lined up that were going to be on the show tonight and kind of like co-host or whatever, but I don't know if I didn't see them calling or if there was a call issue. I know I didn't even look for the first hour because I was so pissed off about my computer not working that I was enraged. But thank you, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Monetize This. Come on over to my other channel, Corrupted Nation, because tomorrow's Monetize This, and I'm going to bury some motherfuckers over on that channel. So that's going to be a lot of fun. No more giving the belt to these fucking weird group of people. Fucking Amanda fucking Mongoloid Face and Big Fat Bobbit and Heather and JP and all these other fucking people who keep getting all their friends to win the belt so that they can just shit on it. No more of that shit is going on Monetize This. And the belt hasn't reached Connor yet anyway, because it went back to S. because I don't know, something got marked wrong, but it cost him like $100. Like I don't know, I guess he's not getting refunded. Like I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I do know one thing: I might kill somebody.
And how you play it, it's all about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about the pain. And who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me. No way you can shake me, I am heavy. No way you can pay me, I am the pain. And I know you can't take me. You're ready to run like a good little bitch or a smoking gun. I am the game and I make the rules. So move on out here and die like a fool. Trying to figure out what my move's gonna be. Come on over, sucker, why don't you ask me? Don't you forget there's a price you can pay. Cause I am the game and I wanna play. Fuck you, Paul Levesque. You cocksucker, Paul Levesque. Come to Boston, you New Hampshire motherfucker. Come on, Paul Levesque. Step up to the plate, Paul Levesque. Come on down to Boston. From that shithole New Hampshire, from all the drugs that you guys do. Oh, I'm Paul Levesque. I'm from New Hampshire. I'm Paul Levesque. Yeah, if the vein pops out, you're Paul Levesque. But tomorrow night, you'll be a wreck, you son of a bitch. My name is Joe Cronin. Come down to Boston. Come on, Paul. Come to Boston, Paul. Bring it on. You got nothing. Bring the kids. Bring all your female kids. Could even have a boy. You couldn't have a boy. I had 2 boys. Cause I am that damn good. You gotta be insane. You gotta change your name. You gotta die in flames. Here comes the pain. It's time to play the game. It's time